Live from Miami, Florida, and places unknown, it's Friday night!
Oh dang! I feel like Conan or something.
We have a live studio audience.
We actually have people in the audience too. Hey Blue, what's up? Nice to see you.
Yeah, we just don't have a studio. I guess StreamYard is a virtual studio.
It is a virtual studio.
Yeah,
So we have live, we have studio, we have audience. We have live
Yeah,
studio audience.
Live studio audience. We have Reuben with he upgraded his vocal speech. It doesn't sound as good as it did offline just now. What happened?
What the hell, bro?
Yeah.
There you go.
We're gonna figure this out.
His gain is a little low.
Yeah, something's going on with that gain. gain it, Reuben.
I can feel more.
Yo, PE, nice to see you. So how's everyone doing tonight? What's going on? Father's just fresh off of a awesome stream over on Text Trek. If you guys have a chance, don't stop watching this video, but later on, like late night, like just when you're like ready to go, go to bed. No, not that late, but go watch Text Trek.
Yeah,
awesome.
Watch Text Trek as you go to bed.
Fathery is the man. If there was like a Star Trek encyclopedia, I mean, they would have to. Yeah, they would. No, seriously. They would have to use your brain to fill up the best Star Trek encyclopedia. You're awesome.
I don't know the entire encyclopedia, but as a kid, when the Michael and Denise Okuda released their Star Trek encyclopedia, I used to end every day by reading that in bed until I'd fall asleep, and then I'd wake up every morning with the Star Trek encyclopedia on my chest. So all the pages are all bent up and the covers all torn because I was sleeping on top of it and shit. But I did I went through it. I mean, it was before we had streaming. I couldn't just log into Paramount Plus and watch all the episodes. So a lot of the episodes, particularly Next Generation, I read about them in the encyclopedia before I was ever able to see them.
I came up with a really terrible joke, a really naughty joke, but I didn't make it. That's all I have to say.
So Hell was gonna say I was jacking off to the Star Trek encyclopedia.
I was gonna ask you if any of the pages were sticky. I wasn't gonna say it like that. I was gonna
say did Next Gen release any seasons on VHS, in different sets?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
they would. It was ridiculous because they would only put 2 episodes on a tape.
Oh my god!
So yeah, there was over 300 tapes.
Oh my.
But I did the only one that I had was Encounter at Farpoint, and then I had the one that has Justice and some other episode where Wesley Crusher gets the death penalty for stepping on that flower.
Okay.
I just taped them all off TV. I never bothered buying the VHSs. I did tape
some
DVDs.
But the thing is, I didn't have enough VHS.
2, 3, and 4. 2, 3. My one tape was Star Trek 2, 3, 4, and 6 on it.
Oh yeah, I had the film.
All on one tape.
Yeah, that's a good run.
The red uniforms bled onto. They just bled off of the uniform.
Oh, cool.
A few years later, in 1997, I had Star Trek First Contact and Jerry Maguire on the same tape. So now, whenever I watch Star Trek First Contact, I feel like I should instinctually just start watching Jerry Maguire, but I don't. But that's how I always connect those.
Yeah. No, I back when I still had back in the day when I had VHSs and I had my VCR, I had Star Trek 1 through First Contact. Why am I echoing? On VHS, and I would watch them all the time.
Did you have the box set where they all form the picture of the Constitution refit Enterprise?
No, I didn't.
1 through 6.
No, I didn't have the box set, but I do remember one time my aunt was a big space fan, and one day she brought me the whole collection, this giant bag. It was so cool because she gave me Star Trek 1 through 6 and this giant bag for no apparent reason just one day.
Nice.
Real quick,
this is how big of a.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying real quick, mic check, Reuben. I did something in your settings.
My check.
I think it's just the way you talk.
Okay, that's a little much.
I think I need to find the right angle on this mic too. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're speaking like.
There was a point. I think it's when you
Maybe
do
the
the.
bopper. If I take off the bopper.
No. I
No,
like
you
how
gotta.
he's moving around. You're really
No, you
confusing
gotta.
me.
No, you
I'm
gotta.
getting dizzy as you're moving
You gotta.
around like
You gotta
that.
You gotta like speak past it a little bit.
You'll
Like, if you're,
you'll figure it out. But for now, I think if you just turn see, I even sound better when I just turn right into when I talk right
Yeah,
into
I mean, I'm
the mic. It's
facing
like,
right into the mic. So
yeah, that sounds great. When you do that, it sounds great. It's when you squawk like a chicken that I can't understand you. Anyways, Father, what were you?
I was saying, like, this is how nerdy of a kid I was. Is that I got the PlayStation 2 shortly after it came out in like 1999. So like early 2000. When I was a teenager, the most exciting thing to me about having a DVD player, because the PlayStation 2 is my first DVD player, is that I could put in the Wrath of Khan DVD, and I could go to the battle of the Reliant and the Enterprise, and I could freeze frame where the phaser is hitting on the Enterprise, and then I could take my AMT Enterprise model that I was building at the time, and I actually painted in the battle damage to match screen accurate. And on VHS, you couldn't do that. Yeah, like on VHS, you try to pause and you get like those streaks. I didn't have like one of those high-end four-head VCRs, So like if I pause on a VHS, I'd get like the blurry, streaky image.
Wow,
that's wild.
That is so nerdy, but I love it. I love it. I love it. That is so nerdy.
I did the same thing with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but on VHS. I would pause the video, and while it was like, I would draw Roger Rabbit and like figure out how the animators like all the shapes and everything that made up Roger Rabbit. So
that's cool. Yeah, but growing up, like my favorite Star Trek movie growing up was Star Trek 4. I love that movie.
Mine too. That was my favorite as a kid. I think a lot of kids, that's probably the one they connect to.
Yeah. Also, a nice little interesting aside. When Mission Impossible was released on VHS, one of the commercials that would come on before the movie started playing was the commercial for First Contact, and I would lose my mind every time that commercial would come out, because you would have the guy doing the voiceover like, one captain, one mission. He would do this awesome. It was such a good commercial.
Is the one where you have like the Borg cube, but it makes up a Starfleet logo?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, and that music.
Like,
I remember the music.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the Paramount DVDs would also have this like jingle before, before the trailer started on the VHS. It was like this awesome little jingle that every time I hear that stupid jingle, I get transported back. I'm so yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Patrick there. The tyrannical whales that came to Earth.
The tyrannical whales.
Well,
but have you guys?
Now we have Kumalo and Matt on the Cerritos.
Yeah. Have you guys ever?
I love those two whales.
Like, have you guys ever thought about what did the whales say to the probe? Like, have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, one of the producers wanted to actually put subtitles on that, and like Nimoy pushed back because he's like, no, like audiences aren't that dumb, like they'll understand like what's going on here. We don't want to like ruin the mystery and the magic of it by like putting subtitles over it.
Like, what are you gonna put? Be cool. They cool, dog.
Yeah.
All right. I understand. No.
Patrick says it's still the best movie, and I love a lot of the movies. So,
I mean, come on. The Voyage Home is awesome. Like, come on, double dumbass on you. That's great. Come on, really, come on.
I don't know if I'm having a ranking crisis. I used to know my rank, but nowadays I can't rank things.
I mean, it depends if you're talking about best or favorite. Like, I think The Wrath of Khan is the best Star Trek movie, but Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock is my favorite Star Trek movie.
As I get older, I'm starting to lean towards the
motion. How I look at the TNG era.
Yeah, and
TNG is my favorite show, but Deep Space Nine is the best show.
Right. TNG's the best show. No, I'm just kidding. I also
No,
think Deep Space
but,
Nine is the best show. No, I
no,
agree
but-
it's the best show. Okay, but to me, I think as I grow older, I'm starting to think that the motion picture might be the objectively best Star Trek movie, and that
wow.
my
Okay.
favorite might be Star Trek 6 still. I'm not sure. But I
The
really
my
love
motion
Star
man,
Trek.
my
picture
man.
deserves a little bit more credit than it usually gets, but I don't know about I don't know about-
What does
What?
the motion picture?
Yeah, the motion picture. It doesn't. I don't think it gets
I
much credit. You know, it deserves a little bit more credit. There's a lot of cool stuff happening from a visual standpoint.
It's gotten a lot of appreciation in recent
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
The last 20 years is, I think, when the director's cut came out in 2001. I think that was kind of a turnaround. But used to be like, yeah, everyone called it the motionless picture. There is like a debate of like, what's the worst Star Trek movie? Is it the motion picture or is it Star Trek 5? But yeah, people definitely have warmed to it in the last couple decades.
Yeah, but I actually love the director's cut of the motion picture, and I love the motion picture. But the thing I love about the director's cut is that you had that like 5 minute overture, like it's like amazing, where you see nothing but space and you hear the music popping
Yeah.
up.
You have the overture and the theatrical cut, but it doesn't have the space going by. It's just a black screen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
No, but also-
that was the like in the old days theaters before
Yeah.
the movie started, there was a chance for like everyone to sit down
Also,
and
yeah.
and all that stuff.
It
and
was
they'd play
still
that music
dated
on
in
there.
'79, though. It was actually the last big blockbuster movies to do an overture like that were Star Trek: The Motion Picture and Black Hole, and those both came out in December of '79, and no one really did it
Star
after
Trek
that.
Motion picture came out after Star Wars, so everything was going the way of Star Wars.
Yeah, but you say
So it was
that,
an
but there's
oddball sort of movie.
There is
Can
a
I-
lot in the motion picture that is kind of anti Star Wars. Like it's not afraid to slow down, and it really it leans more 2001: A Space Odyssey than Star Wars a lot of the times.
Real quick interruption to the discussion. Our text message audience, we have someone who's an audio engineer, a friend of mine, so shout out to you. And they're suggesting that when there was an echo, it's because Reuben doesn't have his headphones plugged in. Do you have your headphones plugged in, Reuben?
I do have that.
Okay,
yeah,
so they
he-
might not be in the. So if you want to go to the StreamYard settings where it says cam mic, make sure the audio input shows that those headphones are what's the input, and then I'll turn off echo cancellation, and your mic will work a lot better. Because watch, when I turn off echo cancellation, you'll hear me, and that's because your headphones are not plugged in. Or like they're not the input. But then if I turn off echo cancel, when I turn it back on, I disappear because it's hearing me. So I'm not sure how that's happening.
Oh, wait.
You hear us in your ear holes, or when you take
Yeah,
off
yeah.
your?
No, trust me, the speakers on my Mac would be crackling because one of them's messed up.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know what's going on. There's like
I hear you guys fine.
I'll have to tell the StreamYard's tech support people because you're creating an interesting loop. I've never seen this.
Is this
Yeah.
headphone so loud that is the microphone so sensitive that it's picking up the audio out of the headphones?
Probably.
Fascinating. That would be
I'm
wild.
gonna mute myself. Hold on.
All right, hold on. Let me
Wrong button.
let me go back to your mic settings. Okay, I'm turning off the echo cancellation, and I do not hear the echo anymore because you've muted yourself.
Okay, how about now?
Hello. Ooh.
Oh,
Hi,
is that
dear
better?
Mike.
Happening?
I am a Medusan.
Oh my god.
Ah. Is that what I sound like? I didn't realize.
Oh god.
You don't hear yourself like how you sound on the air. Anyways, sorry for all that interruption. We'll figure out Reuben's mic situation soon enough.
The beauties of live
live
streaming.
streaming, right?
You gotta figure it out on the fly.
Arthur in the
Oh.
audience says that his ranks fluctuate all the time, and
Yeah,
PE
mine too.
says, yeah, PE
No.
says they should make a movie in the style of My Dinner with Andre that is based around the conversation that the whales
Yeah.
had with the alien from
If
Star
I can,
Trek 4.
if I can build on what Arthur's saying, is that I actually this is I guess this is a hot take with internet culture, but I'm not a big fan of ranking things. I'm not a big fan of like trying to make like a list of like your top 10 Star Trek movies or your top 10 favorite captains or your top 10 favorite. I think it's so arbitrary. Like these things were never designed to be in comparison to each other. It's I'd rather just judge each one on its own merits and
Yeah, like
not,
Star Trek doesn't want you to rank anything; they want you to love
Yeah.
it all.
This is like why I don't like scoring
not love
things.
it
I don't
all.
like I don't like
Rating
reviewing things and then giving it a grade. I don't really consider myself a reviewer. I don't like, and I'd rather just have a conversation about something than try to say, oh, this is like a 6.4 out of 10. I mean, like that doesn't really tell you much. But
If I had to do Starfleet Boy all over again, I would never have done the ratings. But we
for
started.
your
and we're
style, it's
sticking to it.
not it's funny, because of how often you give things a 10 out of 10. But I think people come to
Every
your
week.
No, it's not every week.
people don't come to your channel to see if like something's good or bad. It's not like they're not there to like see you criticize something. They're there because they like your enthusiasm and they want to celebrate with you. And you also have guests on that you'll point out certain details. You keep an eye on the Twitter sphere and you'll be like, oh, Dom Paris has pointed this, or Jörg found this cool fact, and you have a really smart audience, and they often bring a lot to the conversation, and you're incredibly
Wow.
interactive with them.
What a pitch!
So yeah,
and smart guests as well.
I think that's why you have returning customers. I don't think people are like on their edge of their seat, being like, oh, I wonder what he's gonna rank this one.
Some people are.
Too, like, for it to really work, I think you need to you need to have like kind of like with the Olympics, like they don't just judge those things willy nilly. There's a whole system of how they decide.
But how could you do that with art, right? Like, how can you really rank?
You have to come up with
rate art.
Display your. This is our kind of checklist of what we're gonna score things on, But that just gets like weird. Just talk about the damn thing and enjoy it.
Arthur also says, I love the motion picture too. It's the only one that really feels real. That's a cool statement.
If you're really into the motion picture, then might I recommend that you go check out, if you haven't checked it out already, but go check out Text Trek number 69. Yeah, har, I know. But that just happens at Text Trek number 69. That is
it's
when...
not what you're thinking.
Yeah, we take a deep look at Star Trek the motion picture. And that's all. We've done all the Star Trek movies, all 13 existing movies, but that was
even
that's when we did the TMP.
Even the you well, of course you did the Kelvin ones, right? I should go watch those.
Yeah, we covered all three of the Kelvin movies.
Patrick's pointing out that we're gonna get the 4K HD director's cut sooner. Sir. I want it sooner.
Yeah. The theatrical cut looks so good on Blu-ray. I know that the theatrical cut's going to look good in 4K, but I'm really looking forward to getting the 4K Blu-ray because it's going to look even better then.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, is I upgrade my medium that I watch content on every time a new PlayStation comes out, because I was just saying how PS2 was my first DVD player. PS3 was my first Blu-ray player. And now PS5, I just got a PS5 last year, and it is my first 4K Blu-ray player.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm
actually gonna get a 4K Blu-ray player really sometime soon, hopefully.
For those of you who want to check out Text Trek 69, sorry, I posted the link in the chat.
Yeah, I think there's actually 4 of us in that conversation, so I don't know how we could pull off a 69 with 4. I guess you could. It would just be like a big circular.
I think
It'd be
it's
like a
called-
big zero.
I think it's called a lemon party. No, what is that? That's something else.
Circular,
Sorry.
no.
Never mind. Don't look up lemon party on the internet. Please don't look it up.
Spoiler
That one's
alert, we
all-
don't do any of that. But it is me and Dave and Brian, and we also have Dave's brother, Matt.
Spoiler, we don't
Oh,
do
cool.
any of that. There's no incest porn going on Text Trek.
And
That's cool.
Dave's brother, Matt, is even older than Dave.
Oh wow.
So he
Dave's not that old, is he? He doesn't look that old. Like, how old is Dave? I don't know if we want to out Dave's age, but anyways.
y'all can figure it out if you
because I've never owned a Blu-ray player.
Hmm? You've
I've
never,
had
you've never,
zero Blu-ray players in my life.
oh, okay. You've never owned a Blu-ray player? Yeah.
Wait, we'll get to that in a second. Real quick, how old is Dave?
If you go listen to enough Text Trek, you'll be able to figure it out if you piece all the
okay.
context clues together.
Dang it! Now I got to go back and listen to all the old ones.
However, Dave's brother Matt, he actually remembers being a Star Trek fan in December of '79 and going to see the motion picture for the
Oh
first
my
time. So
God.
you get his perspective in there,
That's
and then of
really
course
cool.
me and Brian going over it with a fine tooth comb, and then Dave with his perspective as well. So it's a pretty good conversation.
That's cool.
Reuben, what do you mean you never have owned a Blu-ray player? I mean, I'm not trying to shame you here, but I'm just curious, like, what has kept you
Well,
from
you would
having?
never be able to shame me about that.
Okay, fine.
No, I
Shame.
never owned the Blu-ray player.
Shame. Really?
It, like
I
an
went
intentional
DVD
choice.
to just streaming everything.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
oh,
streaming's gotten to a point where it's really close,
Yeah,
but it's
it's
not
really
quite.
close.
It's not
It's not-
quite.
it's not quite there, but it'll get there.
The internet bandwidth, when we have a little bit better internet bandwidth everywhere, then yeah, physical media is going to be a dinosaur.
Kapoosh, yeah.
I'll still try to buy things I really care about, like Star Trek, if they're available. Especially for days like today when our weather is so terrible that I'm worried our internet might go down at any moment, or our
Yeah.
whole electricity. But
Mm.
Reuben, you haven't experienced Star Trek until you've experienced it in its original Blu-ray.
Yeah.
it's
No, I
original
must
Blu-ray
say,
technology that
the other,
was invented in
the
2005.
other day, the other day, I watched the pilot of Star Trek Discovery on Blu-ray on my 4K TV, and it
looks
amazing.
good. Yeah.
It looks so good. By the way, I love that first episode. I don't care what anybody says. That first 2 hours, so good.
I like that a lot. When I first
Yeah.
saw it, I was a little weirded out, but I
Oh, weird.
immediately warmed to it.
Yeah.
I that's part of my favorite part of Discovery, actually, is those first 2 episodes.
First 2 episodes.
Let's hear it for the No Blu-ray Club.
Yeah, Pete is in your closet. I don't own a Blu-ray player either. I still use a dinky old DVD player that I got from Walmart years ago. Wow, right on. DVD players are super inexpensive now. They're like $20, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't cost a lot to get
No, it doesn't
a.
cost much. Nope. But
Did they
I looked-
discontinue DVD, or are they still?
No,
No, they still make it
DVDs
up.
still
still
exist.
make
As
them.
far as last time I looked at Best Buy,
No,
there were still like
they're,
DVDs.
They're still making them.
I remember VHS got discontinued in 2009, and my friend was pissed. He was like, "I don't want no goddamn modern DVD player. What's wrong with my VCR?" Here's a little
Tarnation.
he's a little old school with his technology.
Speaking of old school, what do y'all think of Peacemaker?
He died of COVID, by the way.
Oh no, your friend?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Maker? Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
that's a weird ending to that episode.
I was gonna say, yeah, wait, that's not what happened in
I know
Peacemaker.
that happens to Peacemaker.
So big reveals on Peacemaker. If you've seen Peacemaker, let us know your thoughts as well. But huge, big stuff. Like I did not expect some of the things we got happening.
This show has been such a delight.
Yeah,
I figured I had a good shot at liking it because I love James Gunn and most of the stuff I've seen of his, specifically like his superhero stuff. I'm a big Marvel DC guy anyways. But yeah, his Peacemaker show, I've been so impressed with John Cena, just a charming, hilarious actor. The way that they use the DC universe is pretty fun. You never know like what crazy thing they're going to reference next. And then the supporting characters, I actually like give a shit about all of them. I like the suspense. I was on the edge of my seat with that cliffhanger after the previous episode.
Yeah, this episode was really fun. Like my favorite part of the episode was when he was talking to the fly, and
You mean
then
the
Goff.
butterfly? Goff.
yeah, the Goff, right? When he was talking to Goff in the jar, and he said, "Okay, Goff, one for yes and one for no."
That was cute.
And
Tick,
then
tick, tick, tick.
and they spent and then him and oh my God.
Adrian,
Thank you.
Vigilante.
My favorite.
Him
Still
and
be-
Adrian.
still my favorite, Adrian, the dumb
him
one.
and Adrian have like a 5-minute conversation about total random shit that they want to ask off, and I'm like, guys, he's an alien. You don't want to ask him this stuff. You want to ask him stuff that really matters. But it was like
so
the,
funny.
Yeah, it was like the funniest thing ever because he would be in there. He'd be like, they would ask him all these random questions, and he would go, yes or no, and he would like, oh, that was so awesome.
It was like Pike in the chair, where you can only answer in binary.
Yeah.
That's so, yeah.
But you know what? I'm a little bit confused because the fly said that he was there for peace, but then once he broke out, he embodied that Chinese woman, and then that Chinese woman like infected the entire police station. So maybe he lied. Maybe they're not there for peace.
Yeah,
Or-
no, that was a lie because that's the same butterfly that was in the Senator.
Right.
So
we know that. So from this episode, we know now that there's 2 butterfly factions.
Well,
Reuben, if-
Mern says he stands alone. He was the only.
Oh, really?
defector.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. But I just have to say that I love the opening of this episode because the scene where Peacemaker's at the class and these like it's like a show and tell sort of like
Deal.
situation. It's like but
But it had heart to it.
Yeah, it had a lot of heart to it. It was hilarious though the way he was like I just love when like there's banter with kids and a kid pones like an adult like that one kid was like I can see right through you. You're such a loser or whatever.
Yeah,
Which is funny because it's John Cena and his wrestling catchphrase was "You can't see me."
Yeah.
And this kid is like, "I see right through you."
I see right through you.
But no, we get all those funny jokes, and especially this was the smart writing, but they saved like the funniest joke for the last one with that one girl that was like, "I think you're my real dad," but
that might come into play. I have a feeling it's gonna come into play.
I think that was just
This joke.
yeah. It would weaken that joke. I think if they return to it, it's funnier if like Peacemaker like never sees that child again. So you're laughing just me describing it. But they do like that flashback when he's asked like, "Do you have an origin story?" And he has that flashback to his brother, and we still don't know all the details with what happened there. I think that it looks like the next episode might be the finale.
No, there's 2 more episodes.
2 more, okay.
So I thought this episode was going to be the final episode of the season. I don't know why I got confused. So I
thought
telling you.
this was going to be the final week of the Book of Boba Fett, and that was wrong. But I was listening to a lying Scottish bastard named Geek and Review.
Scottish bastard.
I don't know about that guy, man.
I think to be fair, I think when he told me,
questionable AF.
I think he told me he thought it would be 6 episodes. I think he didn't say for sure.
Took it for granted or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, it's 2 more episodes, but we also get the reveal of this guy. Hold on, where is he? Oh, it's not coming up.
Of this guy.
Hold on. Of this guy. Did it work? Yes.
The White Dragon.
The White Dragon. So Daddy's out of jail. Daddy's pissed, and Daddy wants to kill his son because he's like, I should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, so he's got the butterflies coming for him. All of the entire United States Justice Department, and also
And his father.
the KKK and his dad.
That's a lot of people, man.
Cerulean's asking, did I miss the Star Trek part of the discussion? I don't watch any of the other things you mentioned in the tweet. I feel out of place. Cerulean, I got to do a better job of like afterwards, like tomorrow. If you want to tap out and watch the replay, I'll try to like put timestamps where the Star Trek stuff is, but we'll probably talk about Star Trek like mixed in throughout.
Yeah, there's
so-
some proposed shows on the horizon.
Yeah,
with,
and so we're gonna
Section
definitely-
31 and Starfleet
Yeah,
Academy.
and we're gonna like do it.
Starfleet
We're gonna do a
Academy.
deep dive into the poster later. So I don't know. Check back in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe.
So really, in
and
blue,
see.
there's also a Starfleet Boy stream tomorrow on the main Starfleet Boy channel.
That's
where
right.
We'll discuss the
Star
original
Trek, the
series
original
episode
series.
for The Earth is Hollow and I've Touched the Sky.
That's-
and then
How many
3 p.m.
like,
and then
how
Sunday
many
we're doing
more-
Picard.
Yeah, and Sunday we're doing Picard.
How
too.
many more episodes do you guys have left of the original series?
Not too many. It's like maybe less than 20. What is it? 18?
Yeah,
What?
we're less
Yeah.
than,
Yeah.
like 16, 17 maybe.
Yeah, 16 or 17 episodes
Oh.
left.
So, like, what are you guys gonna do next? What are you guys gonna cover next? I'm
The
just
animated
curious.
The animated series, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, going back to Peacemaker,
Do
I
I
don't-
have 16 costumes left in me?
you have them. You have them. It's true. I also predict that the season 1 will end with Peacemaker and Harcourt having.
Yes! Yes!
I don't
Yes,
think
yes,
that's
yes!
gonna happen,
It could
but
be.
maybe it could
It's-
happen.
No, she is played by James Gunn's IRL girlfriend.
I
so.
know.
This show the show feels kind of like it was made in the 80s or 90s. It really doesn't have any hesitation about like showing nudity.
Yeah.
Which used to be like a staple of HBO shows. So is James Gunn going to be the dude who like shows his naked girlfriend to the world, getting banged by John Cena?
Is that really gonna happen? Is that really gonna?
That's
happen?
that's what audiences are.
I don't think it's gonna happen in season 1, but maybe these guys could hook up because I totally I'm totally shipping Vigilante and why not?
No.
Why can't we have these guys go at it?
No!
Yeah, I'd watch the whole season if that happened.
Vigilante's super gay for Peacemaker. Do you guys not agree? Like,
I mean, he did put Peacemaker's phone number as the password on his phone.
his birthday.
Oh,
He has his
yeah,
birthday?
that's what I meant. His birthday. But in the only time we've seen Adrian show any sexual engagement. No. He's into Taylor Swift's sexy butt. That's what he Googled. That's what his
Yes,
last
it could be.
search on his
He
phone.
could be okay.
But-
So I'm being a little narrow. Maybe he's bi, or like he,
They
he's,
they
like-
had they had group sex with the woman Rebecca, I think was her name.
Yeah.
They did. Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they're smoking weed in bed together?
Yeah.
Oh, but there wasn't like, yeah.
It was 3 adults laying in bed.
That's right.
Naked,
I remember
cuddled
now.
up.
That's true. That's right. That did happen. That's good.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I wasn't paying attention because.
Wait, what some people would call the devil's threesome?
Was that an audience laugh?
Oh, yeah, there were boobs. There were bare boobs on screen, and so
That's what
when you're
happened.
not paying attention.
I blanked out. Like the boobs
Yeah.
make me blank out. So that's what happened.
Boobs
That's-
make you blink.
That's been happening to him since Teen Wolf.
It's true. I did. It's true. That's true. I forgot
Like
about
a
that
naked
scene.
woman could like walk by Sohel, and like he doesn't even notice she's not wearing clothes.
Shame.
That is true. That is true. That happens. Except unless it's Michelle Pfeiffer, I would notice Michelle Pfeiffer. And actually, there's a couple of people that might make my head turn just slightly, just like a little bit of a head turn. But anyways, I want Vigilante and Peacemaker to hook up sans a middle person.
Hell no.
So that would be good. But so the butterflies have. We also found out that they have this like cow, perhaps. And I'm like, I'm dying to see what
cow.
this like. So like Reuben, the butterflies eat this like goop. It's basically nectar, I guess. Like we could just call it nectar. I'm surprised they haven't.
Yeah, it
called
looks like
nectar.
honey.
Yeah, it looks like honey or whatever. And something's producing it, and it's got to be. I think it's gonna be huge and gross.
It's the cow.
No, they're off.
Is
to
there
kill the
any-
cow.
Is there any comic? There's no comic. This is all original, right? There's nothing.
I don't know these butterflies from any comic.
From anything.
Well,
They
that
could
reminds
be.
me of Futurama and the creature that creates Slurm,
I was thinking that too. Yeah, the Slurm Queen.
the Slurm Queen.
Uh,
She poops out Slurm.
I do know Vigilante and Peacemaker from the comics, but they're pretty different from how they're being portrayed here. But I love the show, and I think they're good characters to reinterpret, and I like what they're doing with them.
I love the scene that I don't know how I feel about, like, maybe if I had to critique something, it might be like the choice of music didn't really match for me, but I love the butterfly takeover scene.
Yeah, you
that was-
really feel the danger and the dread,
Oh yeah.
and just the powerlessness of who's that one detective? What's his name? Scott or Murph or whatever. But
Yeah.
like when you see just like that wave of butterflies chasing them down the hallway.
Yeah, you're like you're gone, man.
And it was really interesting, like the character detective, I think it's Detective Song, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
She has this moment where she, like, it's eerie. She turns to him and she's like, "Oh, that's too bad. She was fond of you." Like, you know, like, kind of like knowing, like, "Oh, but don't worry. Just enjoy the, like, few hours you have, because I'm about to come back with, like, this invasion army." So, and then I didn't think about it before, but, like, to me it feels like a very, like, zombie. So it's like they're zombies basically, right? Like, they're like, in
Not
a way, it's
quite,
like,
because
or-
they still have like full control of the. They're just like I would compare it more to like demonic possession, if you want to like compare it to like
Oh,
an
yeah,
old
right on.
existing trope. Except like there's no coming back, like they're dead. Then the butterfly takes over.
And yeah, and as long as the butterfly's there, it's animating the bodies, like, you know,
Right.
it like,
but it has
takes over.
access to all those memories.
Yeah.
So they
Speaking
can,
of the
they can
butterflies,
infiltrate anyone and anything.
I thought I had a picture of the
Oh my
butterflies.
god, that's scary.
It is scary, Reuben. You're right.
Wait, was that you sampling me and the like? Or was that...
No, scary zombies.
Oh my god, it's like
Wait, are you is that you
That-
just doing an imitation of my voice, or are you sampling me now?
no,
Talking about it's my voice.
no, that's like
Am
that's
I
like
here out?
that-
Am I standing like this and like this?
Oh wow, that's really freaky. Okay, I'm
like
muting Reuben. No, I'm just kidding.
that's like a cheerleader from hell.
Audience, what do you think of Reuben's new new mic
Gear.
and gear? Don't ever do that voice in front of me again, or I'll come in
Man, I don't know what came over me. I was like possessed. I
by
was
me.
possessed.
It sounded like, why did that sound like myself to me? That's so weird.
I don't know. You know what that effect is called in the in the little panel? It's called lolly.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Lolly, like the Lollipop Guild. I bet you could
Yeah,
sing the
oh, like
Lollipop Guild
cool.
song.
Oh my god.
Girls in like anime do lollies.
That totally distracted me from my Peacemaker thought, but that's okay.
No.
You're about to show us a
Mind
picture of
Enter.
something.
Oh yeah, I had a picture of the butterfly, but I lost it, so I don't have it here
Well,
anymore.
that's probably for the best.
Do y'all wait till the end credits and watch the next time on Peacemaker thing, or no?
There isn't one.
There is.
Is there? I didn't watch it.
No, the only thing I see after the end credits is it plays like a little clip, like the normally
Additional
like where they
scene?
trimmed a joke. Yeah, and then it shows like the extended version of it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
if you keep watching after that, it shows you the next time on Peacemaker thing, and that's where I got
It
the
doesn't
whole...
on mine. My HBO Max has never done that.
Oh, maybe it was like a promo that came on after, and I didn't realize it. It just seemed like a thing. But I got a promo for the next 2 episodes. It said the only 2 episodes left this season, so I won't spoil what I saw in the promo. But it was very interesting, what's coming ahead. But yeah, I love this show. I hope they. So I heard it's a limited series, but I hope they keep going. I hope we get season 2 and 3 and 4 and however long they want to
Yeah,
do
there's
it.
been a lot of talks that it's going to get a season 2.
Yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah.
Someone. So I think someone on here was telling me that James Gunn said it's a, or no, it was in our chat. Geek and Review said that James Gunn said it's basically a done deal already. They just need to sign the
working out numbers
contract.
and everything.
Yeah.
Sign on.
Renegotiate Cena's contract or whatever. All of the. all of that stuff.
I tell you that James Gunn is my type of. I like pretty much all his movies. I feel
People
like
are keen to work with him too. He's
Yeah.
one of those dudes like actors like they really are loyal to him. You see that with some directors they're able to get that loyalty out of their actors. That's why he keeps bringing how many things has he done that has
Michael Rooker.
Yes, and also Mal from Firefly,
Oh, Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, and then who else has he used? Oh, of course, like his brother, Six's
Yeah,
brother, and everything.
everything.
Blue
Yeah.
Sparrow wants to know what was his controversy again. I think it was tweets. I think he had
There were old tweets that he had already like taken down and apologized for.
Yeah.
and they came back up. Did he get fired or something and then rehired?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Disney
he got-
fired him, and then he
and-
went and started doing DC stuff for Warner Brothers, and then Marvel and Disney. They act like you ever like know someone like they break up with their ex, and then like they see like their ex's car like overnight at someone else's house, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're sleeping with that person," and they're like,
Yeah.
please, let me take you back. I'm so jealous now." And that's basically what happened.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Yep.
And he's like, "Okay, I'll do the third movie, but I want a Christmas special too." And they were like,
Uh,
"Done."
Yeah, done.
But they don't give him the same level of creative freedom that Warner Brothers is doing.
No.
And
they
so I
don't.
think he's going to be doing a lot more DC stuff
Yeah.
than Marvel stuff.
Yeah, because I think James Gunn is best when let to run ragged.
Yeah, cut him
Because
loose.
Yeah. I feel that in his Marvel stuff, it's great, but I feel that he's handcuffed a little bit, and in DC, he's not handcuffed at all.
If you were a producer and you had like and you wanted to give a director free reign, who would you give that to?
Somebody who I really would like to work with.
J.J. Abrams.
No,
Oh.
it's not JJ. I would really want to work with Damien Chazelle.
Who's that?
The director of Whiplash and First Man.
Oh, I like that.
And yeah, I would really want to work with him, and I would give him as close to an unlimited budget as close to a unlimited budget as I could, and I would say, listen, I'm going to give you this money, and I want you to make whatever movie you want to make, and I would love to work with him one day.
First Man was great, and then I haven't seen La La
La
Land. I
Land?
should see it. Yeah, I should see it.
La La Land is actually my favorite musical of all time.
Oh wow, you haven't
Yeah.
seen Steven Spielberg's
Oh yeah, no, I
West Side
have.
Story?
I have.
Oh
I
yeah.
have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have.
I wonder.
I do think that Steven Spielberg's version of West Side Story is better than the original. Don't shoot me, because I love the original, but Steven Spielberg kicks the original's ass.
Because it has like real Latinos in it and not like white dudes with like fake spray tan on.
Yeah. No, and the other thing is that I love the original West Side Story, but I didn't like the knife fighting and the singing. Steven took all that out. There wasn't any knife fighting and any singing. I mean,
Oh.
any singing. No, any singing knife fighting. That's so.
What about you, Father? Who would you give free reign as a director?
I'm such a control freak. I would probably never give anyone free reign of anything ever, to be perfectly honest. But you know, a lot of the directors I like are guys that are also like really strong writers, like James Gunn, like Quentin Tarantino, guys who can write as good as they can direct. So
It can't be a writer or director who already has free reign. It has to be someone like what Marcelo did. Like,
I think I don't know. After Dune, I'd be
Denis
really impressed to see
Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve give
Give him all the
projects
monies,
he has
I
creative
agree.
control. A lot of times, though, like it's weird. Like a lot of times, like directors are hamstrung by people in charge. But there's a lot of times I watch a movie and I'm like, I kind of wish that director had someone was kind of restraining them. You know?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have another choice. Tyler Sheridan.
Arthur's
Tyler-
talking about Taika Waititi, by the way. But Tyler
okay.
Sheridan, remind us
Tyler-
what he's worked on. That's a familiar name, but
Yes, Tyler Sheridan wrote Hell or High Water. He also wrote Sicario. He also directed Wind River. He
worked on
also-
Dune too, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Who wrote the script for Dune?
That was Denis Villeneuve, Jonathan Spates.
Spates,
and
yeah,
yeah,
Spates.
Jonathan Spates and one other gentleman. I can't remember his name, but Tyler Sheridan also wrote the TV phenomenon
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, and he also wrote the Mayor of Kingstown, which just got renewed for a second season, and he also created 1883, which is great.
I need to check out Yellowstone in 1883.
1888. Yeah, I'm sorry, 1883. Quick promo is so good.
Did we get your choice, Fathery?
I'm not sure. I said a bunch of things. I said
Well, you said
nobody.
Villeneuve.
I said Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, you
and then
did say did you?
I said
That's right.
I said
like that
Quentin
one.
Tarantino and James Gunn, but he said they don't count.
I like Arthur's Taika Waititi's good, but I feel like he's getting to the free reign zone.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody with free reign, baby.
Huh?
There ain't nobody with free reign.
Yeah, some
Nobody
people,
with free-
George Lucas had free reign.
Christopher
Always
Nolan-
Free reign is the guy paying for it all.
George
Christopher
Lucas.
Nolan has a lot of
Did he
Nah,
pay for all the
don't-
prequels? No. Okay, sorry. Who is Christopher Nolan? Has a lot of free reign.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely people with a lot of free reign, but
Okay, we're just talking in relative terms here. Like,
No one
doesn't
has
have
it
to be
all.
like, who's your free reign director, Reuben?
David Lynch.
He already has free reign. David Lynch can do whatever he wants.
No, but that's a good choice, dude. Speaking of David Lynch,
I choose William
Danny
Shatner.
Boyle. How about Danny Boyle? Can I pick Danny
Okay.
Danny
I choose
Boyle?
William Shatner. William Shatner is my choice.
William
For...
William Shatner certainly doesn't need free reign, but I'll say this about Shatner. I'll say this about him is he's not a bad director. If you look at Star Trek V, a lot of the things that don't work in that movie are from the script, and then there was special effects problems because they couldn't get ILM, and they got this shitty flight by night VFX company that couldn't get their shit together and just had a bunch of shitty effects. So a lot of the stuff is shot very interestingly. There's a lot of like I would say like his camera work is a lot more dynamic and a lot more interesting than Nimoy's. I mean, Nimoy did a wonderful job with Star Trek 3 and 4, but I think Shatner could, if Shatner had like a good script, I think he could actually make a good director.
And William Shatner, much like Jonathan Frakes, started out directing TV. He directed several episodes of T.J.
Hooker. And he was going to direct Star Trek. When season 3 got canceled, they stopped production at episode 24, Turnabout Intruder, of season 3. But they had 2 scripts that were finished and ready to go into production. And I think it was called the Pleasure Machine or something. It was basically about like this Spock gets addicted to this machine that gives you orgasms. It's weird. But they were going to shoot that and have Shatner direct it. And if Star Trek 3 hadn't have been canceled, if it had just gone one more episode, Shatner would have directed on Star Trek the original series.
Cool. Oh, that's wild. He also directed one episode of Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. I didn't know that. That's cool. He directed this movie called Tech War, and then a show.
Yeah,
I guess
based on his book series.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Perversions of Science. Feel like I have to check that movie out. Or no, it's a TV episode. Boxed In, 1997.
I think his only movie was Star Trek V. Everything else has just been TV.
Yeah, unless you count his documentaries, because I guess like those are kind of full featured films. But yeah, Star Trek V is his only motion picture credit.
Yeah, you know what I noticed this week? I watched NCIS Hawaii, and LeVar Burton directed an episode of NCIS Hawaii this week.
LeVar Burton's done a lot of TV directing, and some of like the best Deep Space Nine and Voyager directing came from LeVar Burton.
Oh, cool.
TV directing is always very different. The director doesn't have nearly as much influence on a TV show, but they do sometimes find ways to stand out. Yeah. And LeVar Burton definitely did on DS9.
No, but when I saw his name popped up, I looked at his. I did a quick run through his IMDb page, and he's made quite a career directing a lot of TV. Quite a career, man.
Also, Roxanne Dawson, B'Elanna.
Yeah,
She's
she's
been
a
a big TV
director.
director, and Robert Duncan McNeil still does a lot of TV directing.
Directs, yeah.
Yeah. He's actually producing and directing a TV show right now. I don't know what it's
I
called.
wish Gates McFadden would direct more. She was pretty good.
Yeah, she directed Genesis.
Yep.
That's some people hate that episode, but I think it's pretty neat. It's it's like a cheesy type of horror haunted ship type vibe, but it had like an interesting gimmick with everyone turning into animals. It's stupid science, doesn't make any sense, but it's a fun one. Star Trek should do that fun. I always say Star Trek should boldly go, and part of that is like having the absurdity. The original series would often do the most absurd shit. We just watched the cowboy episode, Spectre of the Gun. I like Star Trek having those absurd science fiction stories. Yeah, do an episode where all the Enterprise crew turns into beasts, and you have Picard and Data trying to make their way through this dangerous ship haunted with all these scary, monstrous, mutated crew members.
Cool.
Reuben, I know you're. Okay,
Reuben's turning into a crow right now.
What's
Dude.
that?
I was gonna say, Reuben, I know you're not watching the Book of Boba Fett, but were you watching The Mandalorian, or did you ever watch it?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
And then the finale with Luke.
No, just the first 2 episodes of season 1.
But you know that Luke comes and takes
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
Grogu away. You never watched it just to see what the special effect looked like or anything like that?
I mean, I've seen the scene, but I never watched.
Oh my god. Well, the latest episode of the Book of Boba Fett, or as I like to call it, the Book of Luke Skywalker, was insane. This is Luke Skywalker. They've vastly improved the technology, the software or whatever it is that makes,
There's a really good documentary on Disney Plus about how they recreated Luke for Mandalorian.
The Corridor crew who did their own version of the same scene.
That's who I think Lucasfilm hired. They hired someone from YouTube.
They did it way better, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised because those guys did a really good job.
Yeah.
They also they make Star Wars R-rated, so they'll take a scene and add new effects of like the lightsaber cutting people's arms off, and they did it with Marvel too, with like Captain America's shield beheading people and stuff. It's really cool. They have a lot of videos on special effects.
I don't know if it'll make sense out of context, but I just highly recommend you just watch to marvel at the technology and like the scene. Like it's just impressive. I mean, there's still a lot of interesting, like the mouth still feels weird. The eyes.
Whenever he's about to talk, they cut away.
They did a much better job.
Reaction.
Yeah, it's true. They did a much better job of. I wish I could show.
Like you'll see he's about to talk. He'll be like. And then like it cuts away, and you hear like him talking about like, now watch closely, little one.
Yeah, exactly. It's just delightful. It's just freaking delightful. I feel like, I mean, I don't think Ruben's gonna like anything after the like. I don't predict Ruben will like it.
I'm already annoyed that Luke's in it at all.
I don't think Ruben's gonna have the same reaction.
There are only like 20 people in the entire freaking Star Wars universe. Like, what the hell?
That's what Father says
yes.
too. It's true. Father says the same thing.
It's bullshit, and I've had to make my peace with that. And
just another nostalgia bait show.
Yeah, and I've just accepted that I'm not gonna like Star Wars half the time. I love the original trilogy, and then everything after that, it's like it might be good, might be terrible. Every now and then there's stuff that I really like, but I also have to keep in mind, okay, any minute I might see cartoon Jar Jar step in poop, or there might be some stupid resurrection. I keep waiting for like the moment where someone's like, somehow Jabba the Hutt has returned, because no one's ever really gone. But
what? But what did you think of this, Father? Come on, like
I liked. I wish that it had actually been less. I think they showed too much of this, because it started to feel pretty fake after a while. But I like the idea, the concept, like the story. Being someone who I'm not a huge fan of Clone Wars. I really liked the Rebels animated series. I've really learned to like the character Ahsoka. So seeing her and Luke, they meet each other, that was kind of cool. Okay, that's the moment that I'm very mixed on this scene you have pulled up. There's a
Okay.
thing I like and a thing I dislike about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
Well, I hate Yoda having a lightsaber. I think that was like one of the dumbest things that ever happened to Star Wars was when Lucas gave Yoda a lightsaber.
Right.
It totally undermines the mystique and the whole like thing of Yoda being great warrior. War doesn't make someone great, and I think when you see Yoda, flipping around with a lightsaber fighting a cartoon Christopher Lee, it really cheapened the iconic character. So yeah, like having Luke wave around like Yoda's lightsaber here and showing it to Grogu, I really bristled at that. And a few years ago, it would make me be like, I can't watch this show. Like I said, like I've learned to accept. Yeah, Star Wars is going to be stuff I really dislike sometimes. I just have to roll with that. But what I do love is Mandalorian built a lot of its concept off of Lone Wolf and Cub, the Japanese samurai movie.
Right.
And that's a big tradition in Star Wars, which borrowed a lot from Akira Kurosawa and samurai stuff in general. So I think borrowing from Lone Wolf and Cub actually makes sense and feels right, feels natural for Star Wars. This scene here of like asking the baby to choose is straight out of Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like between a ball and a thing. Marcelo,
sword,
what did you think of this episode of the Book of Boba Fett?
I have not. So
You haven't seen it? I spoiled it.
people have been, and I am not so destroyed by what Star Wars has become as some other people I know. So just based on that, I loved this episode so much. I had a ball. Like I was losing my shit watching everything happen in this episode. And my favorite part was when it's the part that father didn't like so much, but when Luke showed Grogu Yoda's lightsaber, I was like, "That's awesome."
Well,
um,
I thought the choice was interesting. To me, that it suggests like a progression in Luke's philosophy.
Yeah.
Like he was like trained by Obi-Wan and Yoda, and they're probably still very like, what happened? What happened?
no, I'm sorry, I was moving in my chair.
Oh.
And, no, but the other thing that I'm curious about now is I don't know why. Like for the first 4 episodes, we had Boba Fett, and then all of a sudden the show like decided, hey, we're gonna forget about the lead character of the show. We're gonna show you Mando for like 2 episodes. So I
Because
don't
Disney
know.
Plus wants to force Mandalorian and Grogu fans to watch Book of Boba Fett.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
but-
it's a little bit. I think it's a bit. We talked about this already, like last week, a little bit. Like,
No,
I think it's a little bit poetic because there was Boba Fett kind of took over Mandalorian for a little bit. Like, he was the highlight of a couple of episodes of Mandalorian.
Here's the
and so-
highlight of one scene in one episode.
No, like, wasn't it like throughout a couple of episodes?
No,
Like
he
No,
was
whatever.
he was in 3 episodes, but he beat the shit out of those stormtroopers on the mountain when Grogu got kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he picked up Mando and Will Burr from their when they had to go into that access that Imperial terminal to find
yeah,
Grogu's
that's right,
location,
yeah.
he gave them a ride and dropped that sonic bomb. So basically this is what Boba Fett did. He beat up a bunch of stormtroopers. He dropped a sonic bomb and he was an Uber driver.
That's true, but it was cool. Like it shone brightly.
cool.
The small
It
amount
was
of
cool.
time he was
that
on.
that was the
yeah,
first
it's
time I
like-
ever liked Tamora. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Tamora Morrison, I think. Yeah,
It's the first time I ever liked him as Boba Fett. I'm always like, I wish it was Jeremy Bulloch with the Clint Eastwoody voice. And I didn't want to ever hear Boba Fett talk with a New Zealander accent. But his presentation in The Mandalorian was executed so well that it made me learn to accept that. And I kind of think of it as like a different character now, but it's a character I like.
The Sarlacc pit changed his voice because of the acid. Like his actual voice was.
I love all that flashback stuff. I like the message. I like the philosophy. When Finnick is like, your time with the Sand People, it made you weak, and he's like, no, it made me strong. You know, when he learned the value of like not being a lone wolf, when we're stronger when we work together. I think that's cool.
I also
like
heard I also heard mixed things where I've heard I remember hearing that Mandalorian was going to return in December. I forget. People were saying, and
there
then
is a season. There is a season 3 coming this year.
No, but I heard that they were going to. So before Book of Boba Fett was a surprise to me because it was like at the end of the Mandalorian season 1, you got the little
at the end of season 2.
Season 2, sorry.
That's how they announced it.
Yeah, that's how they announced it. So I had no idea. But before, I always thought that Mando would be coming back. And then people were calling Book of Boba Fett for a while that it would be like a season 2.5 of Mandalorian. So I see it as just one big... I just see this as like... I see the Book of Boba Fett as a book of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, what if you just think of all of it? It's just like Star Wars is a TV show now.
Yeah,
it's not movies,
yeah, exactly.
It's a TV show, and it's like, oh, here's an episode about Boba Fett. Here's an episode about Din. Here's an episode about Luke.
Yeah, like and it kind of goes in all these different places. So I never, to me, it's like it's like that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see in Mando season 3 that they do like whole episodes that are focused on some other character.
They won't do that because that's too big of a cash cow. They're gonna stay focused on Mando and Grogu. Like the popularity of Mandalorian, and this is I don't say this as like a bad thing towards Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau, and I think they're doing a really good job, but when you have something that's as big of a deal as the Mandalorian show that really is largely responsible for the takeoff of Disney Plus and made people sign up for Disney Plus. Yeah. There is so much fucking merchandising possibilities with Grogu, and it's become such a huge pop cultural hit that's going to have incredible staying power. It's very likely that this is something that that stays around for decades at this point. Wow. Those Disney investors are not going to be hands off with that, and I promise you, they're going to milk this tit and squeeze as much out of it as they can. Because if they don't do that, if you have executives not doing that, then investors are going to be like, well, we need to get rid of you and get other people that will do that. Because the entire reason why Grogu exists is to make Disney investors more money.
Shit tons of more money.
Well, and this is the time to do it because sooner or later, the generations that don't really give a shit about Star Wars are going to have the buying power.
Yeah.
This is all going to be like Fortnite. Yeah.
Fortnite.
We've got to cater to the Fortnite and TikTok crowd.
No, but the other
movie.
The other thing that I choose to believe is that I choose to believe that people from my generation who have kids are experiencing Star Wars and are experiencing the Book of Boba Fett and are experiencing Mandalorian with their kids, and when they grow up, they're going to keep the torch burning for Star Wars, whatever it becomes when they grow up. So I don't think that I don't personally think that Star Wars is ever going to die. I just think that the people that adore it and that watch it will change, obviously.
Arthur,
go
ahead. Sorry.
The other thing is.
Oh, by the way, sorry. One thing. There's no official release date on season 3 of Boba Fett. I looked it up. I mean, sorry,
Mando. See,
but it says it started shooting in October and most likely will come out around winter, autumn,
December.
Yeah.
No, the other thing that I don't think is going to happen. I don't think we're going to get another season of the Book of Boba Fett. I think that this season is just going to be one and done.
I think that might be true, but I wouldn't be surprised if we keep seeing Boba Fett in The Mandalorian.
Or maybe he dies. Maybe he dies in the finale.
Oh, that might be crazy.
Maybe he gets the dark saber and goes to rule the Mandalorians, and then it like all ties together at the end. And like, oh, that's why it cut away to these other storylines.
I personally don't want another season of Boba Fett because this series was okay, but I thought it was like a little unfocused.
I hear that critique a lot, even from diehard Star Wars fans, and I'm just a
Yeah.
little surprised about it. Like,
Yeah.
to me, I don't,
no,
I don't vibe with that one
yeah,
particularly,
and
but
yeah,
I get it.
You know, I
and the
actually
other,
kind of agree with you, Sohel. Like that doesn't bother me either. That it kind of meanders, but I think that's just because of my position on Star Wars.
right.
I watch it because I'm the guy who has like a fascination with the big shared universes, and I like the minutia and the trivia
The
and all of that
minutia.
stuff.
The
But
minutia.
but I'm also like watching it to be like, oh, here's gonna be like some moments I dislike. Here's some moments I think are cool, and I'm kind of comfortably detached. The Rise of Skywalker was so bad that it broke me from ever caring too much. I'll never care too much about Star Wars again. I learned my lessons. The
I hear
prequels taught me
you.
that, and then I forgot it. And then the Rise of Skywalker reminded me.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I completely hear you, man. Rise of Skywalker is a disaster.
I don't hate Rise of Skywalker, but I didn't want that to be my movie. Yeah, it's
that
like,
movie.
yeah.
Heard you had two
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm mixed on it because when I saw it in the movie, I was like all like, oh, I love all the Kylo stuff, and like how he ended up being like his grandfather.
There's scenes in that movie that I think are good. There's some good
Yeah.
performances.
Skywalker, you gotta blame whoever decided to just wing
It's
it.
the
3
well,
movies.
it's the Emperor and everything. Yeah, but actually, this is what PE's saying. So, in my opinion, Star Wars sequel trilogy that we got should never have been made, and instead of that, the new episode of the Book of Boba Fett is what the Episode 7 movie should have been. So, yeah, a lot of us wanted to see, we're expecting to see. It couldn't have been this, unfortunately. Well, I mean, now we know it could have possibly been.
They could do a CGI Luke Skywalker movie at this point.
Yeah, at this point they really could. Yeah, it's true. So who knows, PE? We might see something a Luke Skywalker, a Star Wars story.
I think it wasn't a bad idea to cut away and do like new characters. I think the sequel trilogy should have been more different. If anything.
Yeah, maybe
but
that would have worked.
And I liked those. I liked The Force Awakens. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I thought it was a little too derivative, but I liked the characters, and I wanted to see what happened next. I actually loved The Last Jedi, and then I hated Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Arthur's saying Luke was better in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett than in the last movie he was in. Yeah, it's sad. Like it's a mixed bag because on the one hand, I think The Last Jedi is the most brilliant of those 3 films. Like
I think that's the best performance of Mark Hamill's career.
Yeah, and it's really good. But yeah, I wanted to see Luke. I just wanted it differently, but I've come to peace with it. I actually like that movie a lot. I like the way Luke's story ends, and I think that adding these like moments is actually bringing more color to that Luke. Like I think that we are getting like more justification for the way Luke is and like the way he feels and like what's going on. Like it was really touching in this episode to see the actual his academy being built, and this was pointed out. I saw this. I can't remember where it was, like either New Rockstars or I think it was New Rockstars who pointed this out to me. I mean, I'm sure lots of other people were talking about this, but it was neat to see that where he ends up on Octo, the original Jedi temple, he was that this was kind of like what he modeled his own academy after, and it's sad that he ends up living somewhere that reminds him
Sounds
of
like they're doing all the writing they didn't bother to do during The Last Jedi.
there. Like that's what I'm saying, is like The Last Jedi, you have to give that, I don't know if you have to, but I give that movie a lot of credit. I like that movie. I think it was the most well written of them all.
That's another dude who I think he's a strong writer and a strong director with Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, and then so anyways, but yeah, you're right though, Reuben.
Fire, inside a dumpster fire.
But Reuben,
getting hit by an asteroid.
but Reuben, you're right. That's what this is doing. I feel like is it's filling. It is doing the exposition kind of in the writing that kind of like is gonna make watching those films a little bit different next time when I watch them. They're gonna be like informed by this. But what I was gonna say, I guess, is that like ultimately for me, I think that this was just like so touching just to see Luke. I don't know, I'm just so attached to that character. Like to me, Luke was spoilers for the Star Wars series Rebels, but I've always been a Luke is the chosen one person, like over, everyone said Lucas says it's Anakin, but
Dave Filoni says it's Anakin.
Yeah, well, but that being said, in Rebels,
do you watch Rebels Recon?
No, I didn't see
Their
that.
after
Does it
show?
actually? Yeah, did they explain that? Do
Filoni
you know
is
what
like,
I'm
yeah,
talking about?
Obi-Wan's full of shit. He's totally wrong when he says that.
Okay, but well, then I'm on Obi-Wan's
The
side
Chosen
though.
One's
I
dumb though.
believe.
Like the Chosen One's
No,
a
I
dumb
know.
prequel concept that shouldn't
I know,
be in Star
but if
Wars.
there is a chosen one, to me it's Luke Skywalker.
But
and
it's
so I'm on the
not.
same side as
That's
I'm
like
on the
me
same
saying
side as
like
Obi-Wan.
that's like me saying like if there is a captain of the Enterprise, it's Chekhov. Even though like he's not in the show, like he's not. It's not like a thing that's like open to interpretation.
Anyways, so why did if Obi-Wan's full of shit, why did they put it in the show? Anyways,
Do
do
you want me to answer?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Because Dave Filoni was saying, like, at this point in his life, Obi-Wan thinks that Anakin is totally lost. I hate that I'm, like, taking, like, this prequel stuff seriously, but at this point in the story, Obi-Wan is convinced that Anakin is totally lost and is irredeemable. And that's why he's saying, like, Luke is not just is he the new hope, but he's the only hope. But then Luke did not choose to believe that about his dad. Luke chose to believe that there is still good in him, and then
That's why he's the motherfucking chosen one.
By Luke convincing, but he's not. The Emperor's defeated by. Well, I guess now the Emperor's defeated by Rey.
Yeah.
But in real Star Wars, he's defeated by.
I
Vader.
just think from my Obi-Wan point of view.
I said like real Star, like some Star Wars. Is
Yeah, no,
but
you
like
did
to
say
me,
that,
like the
so-
original trilogy is like the only thing I care about. Like the other stuff is all kind of expanded universe.
I think it's fitting because Obi-Wan always has that like that certain point of view or whatever. So like from a certain point of view, what is the chosen one? It might not be.
Luke is my favorite character, but I mean, first, like I don't know the term chosen.
He's my chosen one. There you go. How
Like
about that? Hashtag my chosen one.
Like I thought this was so dumb when like the prequels were coming out. It's not
10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Sorry. But I hear what you're saying. He's my favorite character is what it boils down to, is what I'm trying to say. I agree with you on that. Luke to me just represents like everything I want to be. Like when I was a kid, that's like I loved Captain Kirk and I loved Luke Skywalker. Those were like my role models and my heroes, and like to me they represented like the best you could be in a human, you know, like the compassion, the bravado, like just all that stuff. I'm not saying I ever became those things.
They're pretty damn good role models to look up to.
Yeah, I would say so. And so seeing him here, it was both blissful and sad knowing what's in Luke's future. So it was like a really cool thing to see him building his academy, to see like the post-Jedi Luke Skywalker. You know, I think they nailed that part. I feel like they got that right.
I don't know. To me, like I don't need this. So that's why I'm saying like I wish they had shown less of it, especially like the stilted like Luke Skywalker voice that they digitally create. If you watch like the documentary, you can see how they do that, which kind of surprised me because Mark Hamill's such a brilliant voice actor.
Right, he could still. I feel like he could still. He could still do his young voice.
But like every time Luke is talking, he kind of sounds more and more like a robot without any emotion. And after you hear so many lines of dialogue like this, it really starts to lose me.
But he starts to convey some of that detachment in Jedi. So I feel like, to me, it felt like a continuation of that. I know what you're talking about, though. There is a little bit of, there's something, it hasn't quite crossed past the uncanny valley to suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not quite there. PE says, I think that all the Jedi are supposed to have a lightsaber, though. It's like a requirement, a part of that. I think that's a prequel thing too. I'm not sure.
I mean, as far as I know, even as far back as the original trilogy, they
okay.
say that you would have to a Jedi would complete his training by
When he built the lights, when they built the lightsaber. That's right. Yeah.
My problem with Yoda fighting was that in my opinion, Yoda's a Jedi master, and at that point, you don't need a lightsaber. You're a badass.
Yeah, you don't need one.
On holding some.
Well, and he's a 900-year-old master, so
No.
you would imagine he's like so adept at the Force, like that it's almost
insane flipping Yoda of disco light.
Like I don't know. I I don't know why Yoda didn't break what's his back's like spine with his hands. Like he could have broken his spine. He didn't need to.
Well, that might be a little vengeful, but
violent.
the
other
PE. Oh, go ahead, Marcelo. Sorry.
No, the other thing that I would like one day. I don't know if it's gonna happen because this actress is tied up right now. She's doing Another Life on Netflix, but I would like them to resurrect Star Wars, the Rangers of the Rangers of the Republic, and instead of using Gina Carano, they could use Katie Sackhoff and they could use Bo-Katan as the lead character for that series. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen though.
I think they have their own plan for Bo-Katan though, and I think it's going to be more of the Mandalorian stuff and not the
Okay.
New Republic stuff.
PE says Grogu is going to choose the Mandalorian path and will appear in season 3. Also, Grogu
Of course
rejected-
he is.
Yeah. That little dome, that little bubble dome on the Mando's new ship. That's
The
for
N1
Grogu to ride
Starfighter, yeah.
shotgun back
Yeah,
there.
that's true. With his little mithril, with his little Beskar vest, his Beskar shirt, it'll be super cute.
No. It's Mithril. Come on,
It's mithril. It's true. Arthur says you're probably right, PE, and then PE's also saying not that now that Skywalker saga is over, the next big Star Wars story arc could be watching Grogu slowly get older over the next following decades.
I would like to edit that comment with air quotes around over.
Yeah, the Skywalker saga is never open.
Yeah. I don't really like the
never
terminology
over, sorry, I should
Skywalker saga. I know like they officially use that now,
Yeah.
but I never saw Star Wars movies as like everything has to be about like the Skywalker family or whatever.
Right.
In fact, I really liked in those first 2 sequel trilogy movies when they're like, oh yeah, like the only Skywalker we have around here is Kylo Ren, and I guess Leia.
He's really a
Organa,
solo,
but, like,
yeah.
Yeah, like and like Rey was not a Skywalker, and like everything was trying to branch off and be a little different. But there will eventually be a Star Wars Episode 10. It's gonna happen someday. There's no way it's not.
It's coming, yeah. PE says watching The Rise of Skywalker was a traumatic experience for me that I'm so sorry. Still recovering from it.
Yeah.
It's like
I
Father was the same. It broke him. It broke Father.
did.
Eventually, there will be a full reboot. We're doing everything all over.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
No! Sorry.
It's happen in anime form.
It's gonna happen. He's
more
right. It's gonna happen.
I'm not convinced that'll happen, but I guess it could be. But you're able to get like a lot of mileage out of a shared universe with something like Star Wars, where unlike Star Trek, you're not going to keep returning like certain characters, certain time periods. I think eventually they will be branching off. Like we're gonna do like Grogu. So eventually there's gonna be like the next Grogu.
No, but I think the best place for Star Wars to go now in the movies is I think they should go forward and they should tell stories about characters that we've never met before.
By the way, Arthur's pointing out here, you can never be forgiven or recover from killing an entire schoolhouse of children,
or an entire village, every man, woman, and child.
Yeah,
it would be really bad
it's
is
true.
if you marry a guy who did that and don't tell anyone, and then have kids with them.
But we got this. We got this. Yeah, it's true. We got this in. Wow, dang. Okay, we got this in Mandalorian season 2. That's it. You're a little slow on the. You're a little slow.
Sorry, yeah.
On the
It's-
no, it's okay.
It's getting used to it.
Laughter again.
It's true.
Sound, I don't know.
Let's do a minimum. Let's do like let's do a once an hour minimum on the special effects. I'm still getting used to them. They're still a little jarring to me. It reminds me of a traumatic experience I had on Starfleet Boy with a unexpected guest. But you can never be forgiven. One thing that's interesting to me is that we got a little bit about this in season 2, where Ahsoka was describing that Yoda was in fact a youngling in the Jedi Temple, and now we get to see. And I feel like we saw, and this probably irked Father that we had to go back to the prequels in that scene. But I wonder how Grogu survived. Like now, I'm very curious because like I feel like he wasn't with the real. With
I mean, it looked like those Jedi that were getting killed by the clones were like trying to, fight off the incoming troops so that he could be evacuated.
I wonder if the troops even saw him.
A lot of Jedi didn't die in that initial purge.
Right,
They were like
they were
hunted
able to
down by Vader and the Inquisitors.
Yeah, afterwards. So I'm curious to see what do you guys think? Do you have any theories on like how Grogu survived?
I don't think it's a mystery that needs to be explained because so many Jedi did survive.
Yeah, I have no idea. And I don't
My
know how he
favorite
survived.
theory is that Mace Windu survived somehow and saved Grogu, and
No, it's somewhere that like no one's ever really gone.
that's true.
I wonder
That's a
what the
good point.
Emperor will be like when he comes back from the dead again the next time.
Oh god.
Unlimited power. That's what it'll be like. One last thing. We can't not talk about this because I know this character from the Clone Wars and from, I guess he's in Rebels, and he's also in
Cad Bane.
yes,
Oh, Cad Bane's not in Rebels.
Oh,
He's in Bad Batch, but
he's
not
in Bad
Rebels.
Batch. That's right. But yeah, Cad Bane, like I really love the way they realized Cad.
I knew that was going to be
screen.
him. Like as soon as it showed that silhouette, I was like, "Holy
Yeah, me
fuck, that's
too.
Cad Bane!" And that was that. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Like sometimes there's stuff I really like in Star Wars, and like this sequence, just on a technical perspective, not just like the fanboy be like, "Oh, cool, it's like dude from the cartoon. I know who that is. Like beyond that, like forget that shit. But just the way this was shot and edited, it was like really well done. I was on the edge of my seat, like oh my goodness, like this guy is so creepy and so scary and so
Those
ominous,
eyes, look at those eyes. Oh my god, like
the way that they draw out the gunfight. I was like, it did like the Star Wars thing, like you lean like the Western, bring back like the Western tropes into this science fiction-y story.
Mm-hmm.
It was very suspenseful though, like when you're waiting on who's gonna draw first. And now I think a good question is, do you think Cobb Vanth is dead or not?
No, it was I on second viewing I saw that it was a shoulder hit, so I think he survived. What happened? What's funny, Marcelo?
I'm
I
so
was
sorry.
waiting for you to ask. I was like, what's Marcelo laughing about?
No, the way that Father said it, like like he said it like in a nerdy voice, like say it again, like when like you said that, I didn't react like a nerd. I'm like, oh my god, look at the way you said it. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny. Because you sounded like
Father
like all
has
those-
this voice that he does.
No,
It's
but
like
the-
a
no,
kind
but
of
the-
a voice
no,
like this.
no,
Yeah.
No, but it was his inflection, because he sounded just like those 20-something old nerds in their mom's basement when a famous character shows up.
I'm like a 40-something-year-old nerd that I live in my parents' house, like-
but hold up. So
and I kind of
Father-
sound like that right now,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
kind of sound like what
but
Reuben did
yeah, but,
earlier.
but the way Father described his reaction to Cad Bane coming on screen just got me laughing. I'm sorry.
Okay, you had the giggles. That's fine. You're allowed to giggle.
He was represented well, and I guess one of the good things that these shows are doing is they're really good, better than the movies were, at pleasing a large number of fans. Like if you're fans from like the Clone Wars, here's something for you. If you're a fan of the prequel movies, here's something for you. If you're a fan of the original trilogy, here's Luke Skywalker. If you're a fan of the sequel trilogy, here's like the temple, the academy that Kylo Ren's gonna destroy. They seem to like get everyone to like these shows. Boba Fett not as much as Mandalorian, but still, Mandalorian. I mean, Boba Fett's probably still pretty popular compared to how divisive some of the other things they've done have been. So, but yeah, you definitely feel like the threat and level of menace that he has from the cartoon. And if you didn't watch the cartoon, then that's okay. This moment here tells you, he's deadly, he's mean. Doesn't really
that's
much
what
of
I
a moral
like.
compass.
Is like you don't really need to. Star Wars is good at like Star Wars is kind of cool at like it's cool in the way that like, I feel like. At least this show is like, yeah, they're bringing these like characters from other things, but like in a way that like it's reintroducing them, but not in a way that's like that like diminishes anything that you might know about the character already. You know, so like if you already know the character, you're like, yeah, that's Cad Bane. Like, there's no doubt in your mind.
Just
But,
like Black K, the Wookiee.
oh yeah, like Chrysanthemum, yeah, like the Chrysanthemum, right? Like, yeah, like I didn't know who he was. He's still badass and cool introduction, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But people who see her are like, oh yeah, that's the Chrysanthemum, you know, like they know. Blue
I
is
did have
saying,
a big reaction to that when I saw him. I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, what
Blue
was
is,
it? I was watching something and I had like Superman and Lois. Okay. At a moment in Superman and Lois, I was watching it. And I was watching it by myself, and I said out, I was like, "Oh shit!"
oh, I can't wait to hear about that moment. Blue is saying Cad Bane is incredible. The work, I couldn't tell if it is it a puppet. Yeah, I was having trouble myself. Could you figure it out?
I think it was
Animatronics?
animatronics on an actor enhanced with CGI.
Oof, so good. And also, Blue says, Marcelo, I was laughing too. So you had a partner in giggles.
Happy to entertain. Reuben,
Father's nerd voice.
whenever Reuben is done adjusting his mic or whatever, I want to ask him what's his impression of this character when he looks at this image. What does he think?
Yeah, what do you think? Nightmare fuel, Reuben?
I think he's busy at the moment, but
Yeah, I'm just trying a different position, see if it's
that sounds good. It sounds really good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
worse. You know, test night.
Reuben, what do you think when you look at that?
The design looks cool. It looks really cool. It's neat. I don't know. I didn't watch. Where is he from? The Clone Wars? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched Clone Wars, so I don't really know the character, but it looks really cool.
Oh,
Yeah, he
has a bigger tie to Boba Fett too because he actually trained Boba as a kid, as a boy.
which technically didn't make it onto screen, if I'm not mistaken.
But Filoni
right?
says Lucasfilm still considers those unproduced episodes canon.
The other thing is, you know, this like apparatus he has here, it's not for breathing, it's to prevent force choking, and I think that's insanely cool. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that apparatus is just to prevent from being force choked. He's kind of an interesting character. He's one of those like characters that's really cool, but also is just like really a like a mean. He's
How does
mean.
that
He's
prevent force choking?
what's that?
How does it prevent force choking?
It has some kind of it creates an opposite pressure when it detects the larynx or whatever being choked or whatever. It creates an opposite pressure to undo the effect of it.
I see.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's like a badass bounty hunter guy. And he's kind of a bad guy. Doesn't he help to like bring children to Palpatine?
Yeah.
Like,
The Emperor was doing some weird shit with babies, and this guy was like going around like stealing babies for
force sensitive babies, and so he would have. Do you think he's who originally stole the baby Yoda? Do you think this like maybe that's what's going on? The baby. Speaking of the baby, all right. You guys make it show for a bit. Marcelo, you're in charge if you're still there, and I will be back. I'm gonna get a refill on my drink.
Yes, Satan.
Sorry, guys, I'm back. Hold on. Yep. So what's up, guys? Yeah, I don't know.
Did you have any thoughts on Cad Bane? I think that's probably the last of our Boba Fett talk, and we'll move on to the next topic.
I've never been a Clone Wars guy. I watched Star Wars Rebels. I like that a lot more.
Me too.
I thought he was cool. I really liked the cowboy aesthetic of him like slowly walking into town. I really like that. Like it was almost like the man with no name. like
Yeah.
And the way and the way that he just looked up and you saw his red eyes like pierce through.
It was very, very creepy looking.
Yeah, but I don't think Cad Vance, or that's his name.
Cobb Vanth.
Yes, Cobb Vanth. I don't think he's dead either. Yeah, but it was a really cool way to ratchet up another amazing episode for me. But also the thing that we didn't talk about is the bomb that went off in the club. Or did we talk about that?
The syndicate bombed that casino.
Yeah, that was very reminiscent of The Godfather, and the scene in the very start of the Untouchables when when Capone's man takes that briefcase into that old guy's restaurant, the old guy who actually is shaving Al Capone at the beginning of the movie, but he cuts him. If you guys remember that movie's a classic. So that scene to me was very reminiscent of The Godfather and The Untouchables. Um, Specifically when the robot says, "Hey, you forgot your," and then boom. Um, so yeah, I like I said, I love this episode. Um, I know a lot of people are like they don't know what to think about the show. A lot of Boba Fett fans are really disappointed because they feel that it's turned into a Mandalorian show and it's no longer a Boba Fett show. But I don't know what to
But I
say
feel
to
like
that.
before that, a lot of people were already complaining about the show. They were saying,
Yeah, yeah. I
It
mean,
didn't
like
seem to have much of a not bad, but like it didn't really have much of a. I think
much of it,
Peacemaker just kind of like drowned it out.
right? Yeah,
Peacemaker's been super popular.
yeah. I mean, I don't I mean, the show. I don't love the Book of Boba Fett as much as I do Mando,
How
but
many episodes have there been? I'm sorry, Marcel.
six.
six, the six. So I mean, I don't like the Book of Boba Fett as much as I do Mando, but I think it's okay. It's not great. It's okay. Um, yeah, and that's all I have to say about the Book of Boba Fett. Also, time for shameless plugs. I'm in charge of the show. For the moment, I just started a second YouTube channel. So, and the YouTube channel is for my podcast, Radio 815, and basically what it is, it's a big giant storage space for all of my old episodes. So I will be uploading old episodes to that channel every Monday, starting this Monday, with 8 hours of continuous episodes going up every hour, starting at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys could go over there and subscribe to the channel and give me some love, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, end of plug.
Nice.
Um, sorry, I just had
So,
to
for all the
Plug.
oh,
plug, shameless plug. Sorry.
for all the
For
losties out there, right?
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
lost talk.
yeah. Also, I'm gonna mention that in a couple months, I'm also gonna start a spin-off of Radio 815 that's gonna focus on horror. It's gonna focus on horror movies and horror TV shows. So that podcast will start with in the next couple of months, maybe 4 or 5 months from now.
Well, there's no shortage of content there to cover, so
Yeah,
that'll keep you
yeah,
busy for a while.
yeah. I even pitched a title. I even pitched a a a title for the show, but I'm not going to say it on the air because I still gotta run it past my two co-hosts that are going to that are going to do the show with me. So
Cool.
Hey, do you guys hear the echo thing anymore?
I'm
no,
getting no
Now
echo.
you hear it, right?
no,
No.
Now you hear it.
No.
Echo, echo,
nope,
No.
and
nope,
now no echo.
No.
nope. I
I
don't
didn't
hear
hear an
anything.
echo at all.
Nope, I didn't hear it. You sound pretty good to me, man.
Excellent.
Uh,
Excellent.
yeah,
Shut
no. The other thing that I did this week, I was working on my series Bible for the mini series that I'm writing right now. Um, yeah, it's almost like 30 pages. I got the Bible up to like 30 pages, so I'm almost done with that. So yeah, and I came up with a title for my Star Trek pilot of my Star Trek series that I want to do. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. What about you?
Uh, just the normal
Working,
the normal
work,
routine.
working.
I spend most of my free time either working on Text Trek content or watching shows to talk about on Starfleet Boy After Dark, because I typically don't watch a ton of TV. That's not Star Trek.
Yeah, you're yeah, you like watch like what like 90% Star Trek on TV, right? You don't watch a lot of not not too many new shows, right?
It's probably closer to 30-40% of what I watch is
Oh,
Star Trek, but that's
okay.
still a lot.
Okay.
More than anything else.
No, I heard an interesting rumor the other day. I think Sohail said it. He said that it takes you 3 hours to put together a text trek stream. Is that true?
Oh, it takes me 10 hours for like
10 hours?
well, that's like all the thing I do on the back end too after the stream.
Okay, so
It's a 10-hour process every week. I'm very regimented. I do the same routine.
Okay, so for me and the audience at home, how do you give the audience at home a quick
Oh, okay,
rundown?
this is
How
like a
do you
behind
do
the
it?
scenes. This is like a
Yeah,
behind the scenes
yeah.
of Text Trek.
Yeah, how do
Okay.
you do that?
Well, I start by Wednesday. I I work from home. I get off work. I cook something to eat with my girlfriend. I tend to do most of the cooking. She cooks sometimes, but I normally cook on Wednesdays. And then I try to get to bed pretty early, around 7 or 8 p.m. or
Oh,
maybe 9 p.m. And I take a nap, and then I wake up at 12:30 a.m. and get ready to watch the new episode of Star Trek, because they normally drop around 1:15 a.m. Central Time.
Mm-hmm.
So then I watch the new episode. I just watch it the first time. I just watch it, just enjoy it, just by myself in a room, all the lights turned off, no distraction. Then after I watch it that first time, I watch it again. I take notes and I break down every scene. Look for the Gorn eggs that I do. That's the Easter eggs, in
The
jokes,
Easter egg
continuity
section, yeah.
connections. Yeah, so I go and look for any stuff like that. And then after that, I make a thumbnail for the YouTube and for the Text Trek website, and write up all of my
Notes?
description and everything I need for the YouTube video and for the podcast description, and get all of that stuff ready to go. And then by that point, it's normally like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So then I go back to sleep for a couple hours, get up, go to work Thursday, get off work around 5, and eat a quick bite, and then spend about 5 hours going and taking screenshots of the episode, arranging those slides to match my notes, getting any type of visual images for YouTube that I'm going to use for the Gorn eggs. Then I take the audience feedback that I got for the previous week. I get screenshots of any of those comments I'm going to share in the segment I call the Subspace Transmissions, where we share audience responses and audience thoughts and feelings on episodes. And so I put that in my slides, and I've gotten pretty quick at that, where like I normally finish all of that by 10 or 11 p.m.
Oof! Wow, that's a pretty long process.
Yeah, well, then there's
Wow.
more to do after that. Then after I do the stream on Fridays, and then like I feel like in a really good mood when I get done streaming on Fridays, and then like I can come on here and kind of kick back and relax.
Mhm.
But then I spend the weekend editing the audio for the audio podcast,
Right.
muting any weird sounds, or cut out some of the uhs and ums, because I'm notorious. Me and Brian and Dave are all pretty bad at that, actually. So clean up like if we're talking over each other and stuff like that. And then after I get all the audio for the podcast cleaned up and ready to go, I upload that, and I normally do that late Sunday night. And then the podcast is available to everyone, by Monday morning. You can listen to us on your way to work, on your commute.
Cool. No, but I'm curious. What podcast host do you use?
Spreaker.
Oh, Spreaker. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the distribution on that's really easy, because then it pushes it to Apple
Right.
Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify,
Right.
iHeartRadio, whatever people
Yeah.
are using. It
Marcy-
pushes it out to all of them.
Yeah, I use Transistor FM, which is really good too.
It worked. Whoa. I'm sorry. I just thought. Let me see if I could
What?
wave my finger and then.
Are you trying to do a Jedi mind trick?
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah,
Marcelo, I think I wanted to say that Fathery worked 3 days. If I said 3 hours, I was wrong. I knew it was 10 hours. It's
Yeah,
like
because
basically
basically,
3 days is what I was trying to say.
yeah,
I think.
basically, I'm not able to make any plans or do anything Wednesday night, Thursday night, or Friday night.
Right.
But,
because you're putting together the show. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
like you know what Starfleet Boy does for his streams, Fathery?
What? Nothing.
No, it's not true. I do wake up early and watch the show. I try to watch it like as early as possible. I'll do like a little reaction tweet, which I'm starting to do less of those because like I feel like Fathery said something pretty profound, like who gives a shit about my fucking reaction? Like
I do.
Let people react on their own. Like I don't know. I kind of like that was kind of a cool. Did you say that, Fathery, or am I making that up?
I must say something similar to that. Sounds like
Something
something I might
similar.
say.
Whatever it is.
Is that Fathery, or am I making that up?
Making it up. I don't know. I saw it somewhere anyway, so I was like inclined to be like, yeah, who gives a fuck about my reaction? But thank you, Marcel. Since you do, I'm gonna keep doing it because of you. So I'm gonna do it for you, rather. I should say not because of you.
I read all your reactions to.
Oh my gosh! How come you never like my tweets to let me know? That's cool.
No,
like,
no, because
like
no.
give me a like, bro. Give me a like. I need that
yeah.
dopamine. I need the dopamine. I need
Or
it.
I like watching his
but
I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. Don't like my tweets.
But to be fair, I do hop on the stream with you almost every Thursday.
No, I know. I'm 100%.
Talk
That was a joke. That was a bad joke. I apologize.
So no, it's fine. It's fine.
But anyways, then I'll like kind of think about it, take some notes, like rough notes and stuff like that. I'll prepare the stream. I'll put in like a menu of notes that don't always make it to the air, but they're just to remind me like to talk about, you know, things, you know, talking points or whatever.
He debates with himself whether should I give it a 9.9 or a 10.
Or
I do. So I do know my rating, but the show does influence me. Sometimes I've brought my rating down because I'm like, you know, these guys make sense. I didn't see that, and so I'll, like, you know, like whatever. But anyways, so then it's a matter of like, you know, making sure folks can come on, like booking some folks on, you know, like sending messages, so on and so forth, and then I'll watch it one more time after work, and then I'll do the 7:30 p.m. stream. For TOS, I just watched the episode like right now. I might watch it after Starfleet Boy After Dark, and then
I'll probably watch it tonight before I go to bed.
Take a few notes. I try to read the Memory Alpha, but I also try to look up like interviews or archival footage if I can, like on YouTube, because sometimes there's some really interesting stuff there. And but most of the time, I just like kind of like already know that Fathery is going to come with the facts, so I kind of just rely on Fathery a little bit. When I know you're on Fathery, I'm like, oh, Fathery's going to know everything. And
our
also,
sub commander,
yeah, I was going to shout him out too. Yeah,
he knows more.
Lot.
He knows more TOS behind the scenes than I do.
Yeah, he's great too. And then everyone on the TOS stream seems to just have like a love of TOS. I give Reuben my approval on his costume. He doesn't always share it with me, but he'll sometimes give me a preview, and so I'll be like, yeah, do that. That's awesome. It's a lot of fun. That's all the prep work I do for that. And then on Sundays for Picard, I've been a little more hardcore. I'm trying to watch them with all the special features. I haven't been as good.
The Blu-ray has a lot of really good. They have those story log things for every episode has a little 10-minute featurette.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool.
But it doesn't have any commentaries, though, does it?
It does.
No,
it has commentaries on the first episode and on the Children of Mars short.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's this style. I didn't realize it was like a video. They all gather together and just hanging out and chatting.
Like made during pandemic times.
Cool. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Cool.
And then that's all I do. So it's not as much work. Now I've started to take a few screenshots. I never want to go into the territory. Father's is like comprehensive. It's like really cool to see like it because it's just beautiful, your presentation. But yeah, now I do a couple screenshots here and there just to kind of like adopt a little bit of that flavor into the Starfleet Boy Matrix.
Yeah, no, I mean for anybody that's curious, my process, because I normally record a podcast episode every week. So my process is like on the day of recording, like a couple hours before I record, I'll watch whatever we're going to talk about. and then I'll go to sleep for like maybe 2 hours. Wake up, get everything set up, connect to the audio service that I use to record my podcast with my co-host. And we usually
What do you use, by the way?
we use this service called Clean Feed. It's an audio service that connects us through the internet. It's high definition audio through the internet. So, but we can't see each other, so it's just voice. Um, so that's the way that I connect with my co-host who lives in Canada. So um, so once I set up the room on Clean Feed, um, we record every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we usually go for about 30 to 43 minutes, almost an hour. Um, and usually we cover 3 episodes per episode. So I don't know if that made sense.
I think so.
Yes. So after we finish recording, we usually talk and chat for about another 30 minutes. After that, if I'm editing the episode, I usually just put the episode on my desktop, and the next day I usually wake up, take a shower, have breakfast, and then spend the next 3 hours cutting down the episode.
I like that you guys include like your breakfasts and your
Or
showers and stuff like that,
editing.
like
Sorry.
in the description
Or
of your stuff. That's funny.
Or I after I do all that,
I like
spend,
to edit in the nude. I like to do all my editing naked, completely.
Hey,
naked in the shower.
if anyone out there wants to be a weekend podcast editor, we would like to expand the Text Trek team.
Oh wow!
I volunteer.
Oh wow! There you go. Look at that. This is such a great forum for.
No, I'm not trying to look. I'm not trying to give myself more work, but I would like to help you guys out.
Blue Sparrow says, "You guys are great at this stuff. I wish you had more support." So that echoes what Fathery just said right now.
Thank
He's
you,
looking
Blue.
For more so.
I would love to help you guys out.
Blue also
Alright, we
wants
can
to
talk
know.
about that.
No one else wants to know this, but Blue wants to know what Reuben's writing process is. So Reuben,
Oh
since we
no,
all
I can no, I can tell Blue. I can tell you my writing process.
no, we want to hear. You got a lot of
Uh,
screen time there, Marcel.
all right,
Take a
all
little
right.
seat there and give Reuben a little screen
All
time.
right.
But then we got to talk about Superman because Reuben's been so nice and listening us to talk about all these shows that he doesn't watch. So yeah, after Reuben tells us his writing, what is your process, Reuben? Tell us.
My typical
He smokes
writing
a lot of weed.
process,
He smokes a lot. Wait, start with smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed and I seriously masturbate until I fall
Oh my
asleep.
gosh!
Then I wake up and I cry for a few hours, and I ask myself, "What the fuck am I doing with my
Oh my
life?"
god! You don't do. I hope you. No, that's so sad. Stop.
Then
Anyways,
I cry some more. Then I seriously masturbate. Weed. There's some weed. There's some food.
no. Okay, what's your real process, Reuben? Your old man process. That was your youth process. What's your old man process?
It depends. I guess if we're talking about my interviews, I usually take about a half hour to talk to whoever I'm interviewing. Typically, sometimes I go longer, and then I transcribe that first by, unfortunately, because I have not found a good transcribing program, and I tried to trick Google Translate into doing it for me, but it did not work.
Oh wow.
But so I transcribe it all, and then I just start editing through it and cutting out whatever, like just kind of superfluous or whatever. For scripts, that all depends on really the project. Like if it's something that I'm writing for like myself, a script wise, something I want to pitch later on. That usually starts off with like some sort of scene that just kind of pops in my head, and an idea of like I got the idea of like Black Mirror meets Seven, and I was like, ooh, what kind of story would that entail, But then I've also been hired to do stuff like one of my most favorite projects that never came to fruition was this short film production company. Well, this film production company is very indie company that just hated the new Star Wars movies and wanted to do their own fan film. And so they hired me to write it, and it was really amazing. I got to write a Star Wars movie that never got filmed because they ran into kind of financial trouble. And that actually is a funny process because I originally took the idea I used that I pitched to them. I actually took because I wrote a synopsis for episodes 7, 8, and 9 using all the same characters like Ray, Kylo, everybody, but just rearranging them.
Mm.
And then I said, oh, what a waste of time. I can never do anything with this. And then people hired me, and I was like, oh, shit. Now I can kind of use this idea, but it's
Did
just
you do that as like catharsis or therapy? Like, let me do it my way so that I have a version of this that like, was it to rationalize? Why did you do that?
As part, in a way, as a bit of a kind of exercise. I do that a lot.
Right.
With a lot
Okay, I like that.
One of my favorite exercises that I did was I did a ton of research one day just about weird historical characters and weird historical events that I'm like, could you turn that into a TV show? And then I would write like a pitch for a TV show based on like the Japanese concentration camps. Like it's never been done. Right? But it would be what a drama set. Imagine a drama set in a Japanese concentration camp.
Yeah, has there not been that? I feel like
You should talk to
George Takei. Yeah, about that. You should like
Yeah,
reach out
like
to his
stuff like
people.
that.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of an exercise, and I was like, okay,
Maybe you could write his story. Maybe you could do his story. That's
I mean,
like a.
that's kind
Why
of
hasn't anyone done George Takei's story? That's crazy.
It would be awesome, yeah. So,
that's funny, Reuben. That's that you did that with. I did the same thing with Rise of Skywalker. I wrote an outline for how I think what should have been the movie, and I did the same thing for Batman v Superman. I wrote a Man of Steel sequel that I didn't utterly hate with every fiber of my being.
Wow.
No,
wow,
but,
I didn't know you did
the
that.
first time I ever did that was actually after the J.J. Abrams 2009 Trek. I was like, oh man, you know what? If they go with the original formula, well, not the original formula, but what happened with the original movies, where 2, 3, and 4 are kind of like a trilogy in a weird way. I wrote like, oh, they could do 2, 3, and 4 as kind of this little trilogy, and I wrote that. That was pretty crazy. So everybody would have loved it because I brought in Q, I brought in the Borg, it was just a crazy.
I don't know if I would have loved it then, but for my Picard, I don't know if you ever heard my Picard prediction that I wanted to happen. It was insane like that. It was like it was outrageous. It was outrageous.
One more thing I want to say that like the challenge was too that's why I specifically said don't create any new characters. Use everybody they presented. Just put them in different places that, in my opinion, actually make sense and tell a story, and isn't just nostalgia bait for the sake of it.
There was a time I thought about launching a YouTube channel where I would just redo the stories to movies that disappointed me. Ended up, of course, not doing that, but I thought about like that. There's enough content out there. I could probably make a whole channel on that.
No,
I might be
it's,
making.
I
I might be
another
making.
one where I took 80s cartoons that are kind of forgotten, like Pirates of the Dark Water. Do you remember that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
But that's why I said, okay,
Do I remember that?
Boot that, but as a live action movie.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
wrote
cool.
like a
Or
synopsis.
Gargoyles. Gargoyles could do live action now too.
Gargoyles, I did Silverhawks.
Real quick. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's because I drank a little too much. Anyways, Marcelo, what were you gonna say?
Reuben, it's interesting that you said there in your long speech about how you approach writing that you wrote your own version of.
Marcelo said you did a long speech that it was long. Like he pointed out that it was long. Just FYI, I just want you to know that. Sorry, go.
I almost thing with
in your long speech or in your long speech.
It was interesting that you said that you wrote your own version of you basically wrote a better Star Wars movie than the one we got, right?
Well, you can't say better, but you can say he made a different version.
It was only I kind of wrote the opening crawl sort of thing.
Right. But the reason why I bring this up is because, as you guys know, I was so disappointed with Scream 5 that I said to myself the other day. I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna fix this. I am going to write my own version of Scream 5 just to make myself feel better.
Is this
Because
not fan fiction?
this
This is
shit.
called fan fiction, right? Like that's what this really is.
It
No,
would
but
be, yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm not going to approach it as fan fiction. I'm going to write the, I'm going to write a full fledged script for Scream 5.
I'm a little annoyed
Yeah.
because my bootleg site hasn't put Scream 5 on there. And I'm like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
PE wants to know what did you all think about the new Raised by Wolves? So I don't think anyone else is watching it, so I'm just
I
gonna give
don't.
like
Yeah,
right.
I don't.
And you
I-
guys,
I-
never-
Actually,
I
yeah,
don't watch the show.
watched
I don't
it.
watch the show.
If do you want to talk about Superman and Lois, and then I can leave. If you
no,
want to talk
because
about
no
Raised
one
by
else
Wolves.
no one else is watching it.
Can I
So
say one more thing that I think is interesting for any aspiring writers out there about that whole little experiment I did with Star Wars? Because it not only gave me the idea that I sold to these people, and I was able to write, at the end of the day, the production didn't happen. I got paid. That's all I care about. And I got to write a script under my own term.
remember next time Reuben criticizes writers for only caring about money, that he said on the show that I
Yeah,
got
man.
paid. That's all I care about. So
You
just
got to
remember
get your
that.
money. That's all I'm saying. You got to
Just-
get your money.
Just audience, remember when
Business
we're
is
watching
weird. What
Star
happens
Trek.
after the script is made is a whole different story.
All right. Anyways, but
Sorry,
sorry,
what were you
Carrie, finish your thought about the.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
So the other thing that came out of that whole experiment was because, again, I was like, damn, what a waste of time. I came up with this, what I think is a pretty cool story. And what am I going to do with it? So I ended up actually not only using some of the ideas for that one production company, but I've been writing it. I haven't actually finished it, but I've been writing a science fiction, kind of like my science fiction opus, if you will. I call it Blade Runner meets Aliens meets Star Wars. And so, although very little aliens involved, it's more Blade Runner and Star Wars. But anyway, so I took a lot of the concepts from that and just kind of morphed it into a whole brand new thing for myself, so that it's not so much like, oh, why did I write this fan fiction sort of thing? Instead, make it something more useful to me.
Nice. Real quick touch point on Raised by Wolves. So PE, unfortunately, I couldn't see. They broadcast 2 episodes. They released broadcast. No one broadcast, but they released 2. Yeah, I'm like, they broadcast like at 8 p.m. Central, and you can't see it again until they release it on VHS. But they dropped 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes of the season, and I tried to watch it last night, and unfortunately, like, my sleep overcame me, and I fell asleep. So I didn't actually
Been doing a lot of that lately.
It's late at night, come on. But I am gonna watch it tonight, and we are Trek on the Tube's a huge fan of Raised by the Wolves. So we'll probably talk about it on his channel at some point. But I will do Raised by the Wolves.
I'm gonna type on a tweet. I'm gonna like you like Raised by Wolves, and I'm gonna do like the laugh emoji after it.
Wow.
Like he always does that. Like if he doesn't
does.
like your opinion, he'll just put like the little laugh emoji behind it.
I love these call outs to Trek on the Tube. He
Or
never,
he'll
because
stop inviting you on his
the
show.
funny thing is I would say all this to his face, but he never watches Starfleet Boy After Dark. He has no time, but we talk so much shit about him on this channel. I love it. It's like the best thing in a good way. We love you, Sean.
But the thing is, does he know that we talk so much shit about him?
Yeah, I mean, like, I just say this to him. He gets mad. He's very sensitive sometimes. He does get mad, but he knows we love him. He gets over it really quickly. We're all sensitive. Everyone's sensitive about something, so it's fine. But anyway, Sean, you're never gonna watch this, but we love you. PE, I'm the only. Oh, that's me. I was answering. So yeah, PE, we'll talk about it next week probably when I catch up on it. So I'm sorry to disappoint you on the Raised by the Wolves, because I did say in the tweet that we are gonna talk about Raised by the Wolves. But I keep saying Raised by the Wolves, and it's just Raised by Wolves.
Raised by
Weird.
Wolves.
It's like so weird that I say that. But I will just say that what I remember seeing of the first episode subverted my expectations in a positive way, and so I'll deep dive into that later. Arthur says about something you guys were talking about, anything would be probably better. Oh, Scream 5, anything would probably be better. I think that's what Arthur was referring to.
Yeah.
And then you guys are hilarious with your banter, but honestly, those are good tips. And then Arthur also says, you guys made me miss Stephen Colbert tonight. Just hope it was a repeat. Oh, man. Wow. We like that's never happened where I made someone miss Stephen Colbert, but I like Stephen Colbert. So
I see. I personally like Conan. I like Conan. Sorry.
well, we're moving on to Superman and Lois.
Uh,
What do you mean? What is that? What's that reaction? What's going on? What does that mean? Are you not enjoying the show? Like,
No, it's like because I said like a random thing and like you just blazed right over it and you just went, okay, we're gonna do this now.
I
But
wanted
it's
to
fine.
meet your randomness.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I thought we were gonna have a lengthy conversation about the best talk show hosts.
No,
Okay,
no.
I could do that.
This episode was crazy.
I haven't caught up yet, so you guys can.
Remember when Arsenio Hall had Jason Voorhees on as a guest?
No, I don't remember that. Is that
That was
true?
amazing.
Really?
Yeah, and Jason just sat there quietly,
Oh my
and
god.
word the whole time.
Wow.
So Marcelo, if you don't care about spoilers, I'm just gonna let you know what
No.
happened in the
No, I don't
episode, like
care.
a quick summary.
don't care.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so you remember the last episode ended with that that bitch woman brainwasher bitch.
Bitch woman.
What's her name? I forget her name.
Bitch
even.
woman.
You know who I'm talking about? Like Dianetics.
Yeah.
Dianetics lady. Did you
What?
sample me? What was
What?
that? Did you sample me? Don't sample me. Please don't
What the
sample me.
hell was that?
Anyways, the Dianetics lady, it basically starts off with her again, and she and Lois have this like crazy exchange, and then when she gets up to leave, her like fucking like goons stand up with her, and she's all like blah 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 blah. I don't handle threats well. And then Lois was like, neither do I. And Lois is like, I'm fucking married to Superman, you bitch. She probably said that in her head. Like she probably didn't say that. She didn't say that out loud or anything like that. But anyways, I hate that woman so much. I don't know. I think I hate her. I hate her so much. I think of her as like the awfulest thing ever. She's more interesting to me than any villain on Superman so far because she's so realistic. I feel like this is like she's like no, but she's a real person. Like there's people like this doing this all the time. Like I'm not going to name any because they'll send their goons after me or whatever, but there's a ton of people brainwashing people and taking advantage. It's a real thing that happens.
You're talking about Scientologists?
Yeah, but not just that. There's like even celebrities now are into this, like creating like little cults of personality. Like cults are just bad news. And I'm glad that Superman and Lois is highlighting it because it's a lot of people are taken advantage by them, and so it's an interesting.
It seems like a weird thing to do now in 2022, and I don't think that's as big of a thing as it was in like say like the 60s and 70s.
No, I feel like the Scientology thing, like with certain celebrities and stuff like that, I feel like it's like
I mean, you don't have like the stuff like the Moonies or Jonestown or like stuff like that doesn't really happen now. Like it used to be more
like
common.
Nexium,
what is it?
Nexium, the Allison Mack from Smallville joined. She was
Yeah.
the leaders of
Yeah.
Oh, is this a comment on? Is this like a meta
it. Was
commentary on
she's
a
in
previous Superman show? Maybe
No,
in a weird way.
No, but
It did make me think of it, but I don't think they're directly
but
focusing on that.
But the Nexium thing ruined Allison Mack's life. Because she was like the number 2 person next to the crazy cult leader person.
Yeah, and like more and more we're being like kind of like Arthur pointed out a good example in my mind in the chat there. I'm not going to highlight it because I don't want to I don't want to get attacked by these people's goons. But like, you know, to me it was very profound that they brought this into it's very bold. And again, this show I feel like is super bold. Like it really addresses things that are like really like timely and also epic at the same time. You have fucking Bizarro Superman on the show going on at the same time as all this. So
and I
wild.
think Ellie Alston's going to become a supervillain herself.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm laggy, but I was opening up another web page and it didn't work out great for my streaming image here. But Alexandra Alston was the female parasite. There was a male parasite. His name was like Rudy something. But then there was a female one, and in this episode, like Lois even calls her like, "You're just a parasite." That's kind of, they do that
cool.
thing in like
I didn't
superhero movies a lot, where they'll try to sneak in the name from the comics.
Well,
like,
this show has done it too. Remember when they teased that Doomsday?
General Lane said, "There's a bizarre version of Superman running around."
yeah, or
it's
something like that. Yeah, it's
Bizarro,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. And they teased that Doomsday. They teased us a little with the Doomsday. Don't go all Doomsday on me. Like
Yeah.
that was cool. Yeah, it was a really neat thing. Okay, so I didn't know she is going to be a villain. Okay, I mean she is a villain, but I didn't know she was going to have like some kind of
She's gonna be a super villain.
super villain. Interesting. Interesting. We meet Lois's sister. Is she a new character? I didn't
No,
remember.
Lucy Lane. Lucy Lane's been a thing in the comics for a long time.
A long time.
Lois's
Okay,
little
cool.
sister.
Oh, cool. But I like that twist where like this is the one time. So this is interesting because now I think of Lois as a pretty integrous reporter, but here like her integrity's on the line a little bit because she did take this very personally. And even though Allie Alston, I'm not sorry I called you a bitch earlier, but even though Allie Alston is in fact going to be a supervillain and is in fact like this bad person, it is still like when you're a reporter, there's like things that you're bound by and you're supposed to like do your like and it feels like in this case, even though Lois is right, she is cutting corners a little bit and doing things like in a way that she wouldn't necessarily handle if it wasn't her family, if it wasn't her beloved sister. It's interesting. And then to get the twist that Lois's sister hates her. I mean, there's like these layers. I feel like this season's doing a really great job with like fleshing out Lois and stuff like that.
But the Ellie Alston stuff, I mean, I think that's fine. And a lot of those scenes, they were kind of like suspenseful and stuff when they're doing like the undercover investigating. But that didn't really stand out to me in this episode. What I liked most was, this might surprise, it wasn't like the Bizarro stuff either, even though there were like some cool Bizarro fights. I'm really impressed with the amount of like Superman action we get in this show. They don't really hold back or scale it down much for TV. But I liked some of the stuff going on with the boys, with Jonathan and Jordan.
We're just gonna talk about that too, yeah. Especially Jonathan now trying drugs. That's scary. I didn't think it was gonna go there, and I'm worried.
I told you that at the end of the last episode.
You did. It's so scary. I don't want it. But it's happening, and I think it's important too. Again, show doesn't shy away from like putting these like hallowed characters, these characters that you're like so attached to.
Well, it looks like Nat is suspecting it, so I think that might lead to his downfall.
Drugs are terrible.
Did you just pretend to snort cocaine? Oh my god, that's
No.
some drugs.
But
I will say some drugs are terrible when used incorrectly. Like all drugs are terrible.
like
when
caffeine,
used
I have
But what I'm telling you right now,
Stop, Reuben, stop. Reuben.
Oh my
Too far.
demonetized.
You even crossed the line on Starfleet Boy After Dark. Anyway, sorry. What are you gonna say, Father?
just that I have a chemical dependence on the drug of caffeine,
Coffee?
but it's socially acceptable, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But
That's what it was.
yeah, I liked the Jonathan stuff, and then the Jordan stuff. I was like really excited when they're in the grocery store, and it's like, oh look, Jordan's gonna try to do some crime fighting. I like that. And then like when it showed when that girl was like, don't worry, my parents have a camera in here. We see everything that happens. And then it cuts like what the angle of the security camera was, and that's the moment I was watching this where I was just like, oh shit.
And his the actor was like conveying that oh shit too. Like he was very good at like looking like he lost his shit right there. Yeah.
I love seeing General Lane as a grandfather. And I like the character now that they kind of like retired him and they've
sidelined
him from the military,
because he doesn't get to be the bad guy anymore. He's kind of like which is
because I don't want to root for the American military, to be honest.
That
but,
too.
When General Lane talks to Jordan on the phone, and Jordan he was able to like cover up for him, but then later Jordan's talking to him and he's like, I want you to train me. And then General Lane, you know, like the way that they play this is like really cool. Where he pauses for a minute, like you can tell like he takes a second to think about it, but then like he comes down pretty firm. He's like, yes, okay, I'll do it, but we got to keep it a secret. But I'll do it. And I was like, oh, that's exciting, yeah, because now he's going to get training from General Lane instead of his dad.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so interesting, and I think like it Jordan's going to be a really interesting next superhero. Like, it's going to be interesting as he wants to help his dad. Like, he sees his dad's not invulnerable anymore. You know, Clark or Kal-El has this like weird connection with the. Do you know what's going on there? By the way, is that a thing in the? I don't remember like the whole connected to or linked to Bizarro.
They're doing their own spin on Bizarro, yeah. and I like it. I think it's a good move. I like the the
Reuben,
telepathic connection that they're doing.
Yeah,
Bizarro kills people. He kills people in this episode.
Yeah.
That totally, team, the Supermen of America.
Yeah, now
like immediately, who was it, like Lois or John or like someone's asking them like how are they doing? And Superman's like 2 of them are already dead.
Yeah,
like instantly killed.
Instantly, like no problem. I'm glad that the guy from last season survived. The student, the high school student, the friend. I hope he comes into play. I feel like they're going towards a super team. Are we gonna get super team, Father? Is that what season?
You know, I was wondering. I was like, when they're like, you need help. You can't take this guy on your own. I was like, oh, is he gonna like go find Barry Allen and the Flash, or go get like Black Lightning or like the other like CW heroes to team up with? But no, they were telling him to like go to the DoD, false Supermen.
Yeah, totally.
But the other thing the other storyline that I'm finally starting to like get interested in is the Lana Lang, or what's her last name now that she's married?
Well, Ka or whatever. I don't really know his name.
Lana, I forget, but I do like that they're including the Hispanic or Latino heritage stuff into the story with the family now, and like,
but her race for mayor.
Yeah, her race for mayor. That whole storyline with Sarah's suicide attempt, right? Sarah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
The suicide attempt.
What?
Like, yeah, so she didn't attempt it now. She attempted it like before, but
oh my
like
God.
before the show. Like, remember they talked about that in season 1.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
But the dipshit mayor's trying to like they're afraid that they were gonna that
he's like trying to like dig up dirt on their family to
their
like
family
use it against
like
her.
That, yeah. But then we get this like crazy dirt at the end. Like, what's going on there? So like, Papa Lang.
Kyle, his name's Kyle, right?
Yeah, thanks.
I was so scared he was gonna start drinking. That makes me so nervous in shows when like an alcoholic is like about to start drinking. That makes me so like scared.
But there's something else going on. Maybe he had an affair.
He didn't though.
He didn't drink, but maybe he had an affair with this one. There's so much good
melodrama.
Like,
the way that she put her hand on his hand, it's like that. Yeah. That is familiarity.
Yeah,
like they have seen each other's genitals up close. Like that's happened.
That's the genitals. I've seen your genitals handhold gesture.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Without doubt. That is.
So when the guys in Prodigy grab their hands like that, that's I'm not wrong, right? Like they like.
Oh no, those aliens are totally gay for each other.
Okay.
There is like it's yeah.
That's what I read.
That's unquestionably.
We better not give off that look when we meet Father Ian. Remember, he can see that look.
Don't worry. My superpower was. Never mind. I'm not going to say what my superpower was. But anyways, it was. By the way, I no longer have this superpower, but I'll just say it offline.
That's probably for the best.
It's probably for the best. If I'm questioning it, it's probably for the best. But yeah, to me, I think the biggest thing like that was, I don't know. This show's just so goddamn good. Like, I feel like I often think to myself like teenagers, especially like that generation who are watching this show. Like, I feel like this is such a good show. Like to show like examples of like choices and consequences, but also like relatable things to real. I don't know. It's to me, it's like such a Superman's so like wholesome, but so edgy at the same time, and I don't know how it does that. Like it's so crazy.
And I think Superman as a dad was a brilliant idea when the comics did it, like 5 years ago, is when they really like leaned into that. And I'm glad that the show is bringing that presentation to the mainstream, because I think a lot of people who maybe like had a hard time connecting with Superman before, when they see him as like this really good dad, I think that's going to be the. In fact, I've heard people say that about like comic book Superman, about like, oh yeah, like now that like I've seen him as a dad, I can really understand that character and I can connect to him and relate to him.
Yeah, I have to catch up.
Yeah, you got to catch up on this episode.
Yeah, I gotta catch up.
It's good. I'm sorry if we spoil, but you can see how hype we're about it. Like,
No,
it's
no problem. No problem.
And we got to see Bizarro's fire breath. You remember how I was telling you how he's inversed? He has cold beams come out of his eyes and fire comes out of his mouth.
Oh, super teen guy stole the little necklace that has the power of his white dwarf or whatever that powers him or whatever. Like, yeah, so what's gonna happen now?
I don't know what the necklace is, but we'll find out soon.
So much good stuff. I can tell. What I like is that Reuben seems intrigued slightly. Like there's like a little bit. I feel like
I did think that putting John Henry Irons in the hospital.
Oh yeah, I forgot we didn't even talk about how do they do so much stuff in there? It's like crazy.
That felt a little. I wasn't that excited about it, because you're just doing this to like sideline the character and just like give him and Nat something to do.
And that did feel like the first time where it was like, like that's the first time I felt like maybe this was a little superfluous. Like it was a little too much for one episode. I agree with that. Because
we'll see what they do with
she was getting along with the family so well, and now she hates Superman.
Yeah, it's like oh, we need to inject some pointless drama.
Yeah. This is the first time where I was like, yeah, the drama was like a little too much.
Yeah, that might prove to be a misstep. I'll reserve judgment for now, but I'm not thrilled about that.
But
aspect.
I do love John Henry Irons. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll go in half suit, like suit damage. Like I love him. He's
pretty heroic.
He's pretty
heroic.
Cool. Yeah.
And they always show him. He's like the smartest dude out of that whole farmhouse. Like he's as far as like brainy type smarts, like scientific stuff. You know, he's always on top of that. And that conversation that him and Clark had about raising kids in the city versus raising kids in the country. That was like really cool. It rang true. It felt real.
Right on. All right. So there's your Superman and Lois update.
Unfortunately, Superman is very low on my list of favorite Justice League characters.
It's hard to watch. I feel like it's hard to watch this show I bought the iTunes season pass because I love the show so much, but it's hard to watch a show with commercials. I will tell you that, because sometimes I
cannot. Sorry,
I have to wait a day to see it.
Sorry to interrupt. I hate watching stuff with commercials, so I'm there with you.
Yeah,
I don't like it either, because I hate things that like waste time. I schedule like so much of my waking hours that like I have so little free time, and so like I always do commercial-free streaming services with like Hulu, Paramount Plus, whatever. But I do. That's one of the few things. The CW app I watch for free to see Superman and Lois.
I hate. But you know the dumb thing about the CW app, they play the same commercial again and again and again.
Yeah, it's always like the pills that keep you from getting AIDS.
Yeah, oh my god.
Like I see that commercial a bunch. It's like that, and then like sometimes like tampons, and then like stop vaping, you teenagers.
Yeah.
Wow, Blue's your biggest fan. Blue, I thought you were my friend. Blue says it is a good. Like, how do you know this about Reuben? I don't think we ever talked about this, but it is a good show, Reuben. You're watching the Dan Brown show, aren't you? Yes, he is actually. Have you finished it? I didn't finish it, Reuben. Did you finish it?
I finished it. Yeah, I finished
The Lost Symbol.
Season 2, so don't worry about where it goes.
It is not getting a season 2. It didn't get renewed.
No, it got canceled.
I've never heard of Dan Brown.
Dan Brown's kind of like he's a sensationalist a little bit. Like he sensationalizes history, right? Like that's kind of how to describe him. Like
no. He has no. I wouldn't call Dan Brown a sensationalist. I will call Dan Brown a person that has fun with history.
Okay, I like that.
Fun with history. Well, I
Fun
like
with
history.
Yeah, I like that. I like that way of describing him. But Dan Brown is the Da Vinci Code. Did you see that movie with Tom Hanks?
Oh yeah, I didn't like it.
No, yeah,
I,
I like it. I like the show more than the Da Vinci Code, but the show was very good.
Anyways, Blue's giving an endorsement to. So now that Dan Brown's canceled, Reuben, you need to watch Superman. Put Superman and Lois in that.
Yeah, I just don't like Superman. He's just not an interesting character.
Have you even seen any of this show? Like, try like the first. For me, try the first.
I've only seen him in. I saw. I can't pronounce.
In the Arrowverse, you saw Tyler Hoechlin, I think. Yeah,
I saw him in Supergirl, right? He came out in Supergirl.
Yeah.
And I saw him in the crossover one that they did, the Crisis, I think it was.
Crisis on
Yeah.
Infinite.
Where they also brought back Brandon Routh.
See, I've never seen any of that stuff. I've seen a little bit of The Flash, but to me, everyone's saying this is a whole new, like, it's a step in a different direction, I guess.
It is. It's
like,
so much better than any of those shows. Leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, but I am, as a guy who watches like 99% of the CW stuff, I will tell you that Superman and Lois is leaps and bounds better than any other stuff that they got right now.
Right. I don't think the CW's had a show this good since Dawson's Creek.
And this is it's co-funded.
Just kidding, I'm so
It's
sorry.
co-funded by HBO.
Yeah.
That's right.
And HBO has like a lot of influence on Superman and Lois because like as soon as it's done with the season, they put it straight on HBO Max.
Yep.
And so that's one of the reasons why the budget is a little higher, and I think like the quality, they have some
It looks
influence
better.
on the
Yeah, I agree with
The
that.
writing.
It is-
But I still think that the best season of any CW show is the first season of The Flash, because that first season of The Flash is so wickedly out of control, insane. I mean, they did some shit in the first season. And you're like, holy shit! I mean, oh, so good.
When did they bring in? I forget her name, but the Flash's daughter from the future.
Oh, that was in
season 5 maybe.
Yeah, season 5 or 6. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's when I stopped watching when they introduced her.
Yeah.
Not because of her.
Actually,
when I
It's been going downhill since then.
Actually, yeah, but actually,
when I stopped watching.
yeah, but actually, Nora Allen is a good character, but I hate the way that she was written when she first showed up because.
When they made
God,
her the villain.
No, it wasn't that. It was like.
Oh, I'm talking
what-
about Flash's mom, not his daughter. They're both named
okay.
Nora, so that's confusing.
Oh yeah, that's right. But I'm talking about Nora Flash's daughter.
Yeah, when she's
Like-
introduced, she acts like she's like 12.
Yeah.
But she's played by like a grown woman. It's really.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like
Awkward.
originally they had like, like in Buffy in season 5 when they introduced Dawn. Originally, Dawn was going to be a much younger character, and the writers are like writing for like a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar really wanted them to cast Michelle Trachtenberg, right? That's her name.
Yep. Yeah.
And then so when they got her, they're like, oh, we're gonna have to write the character to be like a little older. But they already had like those scripts of her being like really young, and so if those first few episodes, yeah, she does seem like so like immature and insufferable.
Yeah, definitely.
But then she gets better as the show goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, but the thing that really bothered me about Nora is that, like, one episode she would learn a lesson and she would progress as a character, but in the next episode, the writers would press the reset button on her, and they would it drove me nuts.
Yeah, that's not a good show.
Yeah, but I don't know, but I still watch The Flash because I've been watching it for years, and I've already been converted years ago. So, and plus, Grant Gustin signed a new contract. So
Season
Flash-
8.
yeah, for season 9 actually, I think.
Oh, 9. Season 9. Wow.
Nice.
Season 9.
Well, Cerulean Blue's back, and you know what that means. It's time for Star Trek news, Strange New World. Reuben's favorite show of the new Trek era.
Bullshit.
that he hasn't even seen it yet, but he already knows.
Yes,
I
no
mean,
faith.
he asks us questions about it. He pitches ideas for it every episode of Starfleet Boy. Like, I think this is like the show
That is an awesome poster, by the way. I gotta say.
Yeah, I like the poster.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm so hype about this. Like, Reuben, what are your thoughts, just as someone who's not interested in the newer Star Treks? Like, what do you think when you see this?
Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to zoom in.
Nice
Hold on.
design work. Yeah.
What's that?
I said nice design work, and I'm curious what that like kind of building is behind the tree.
How do you do that, by the way? How do you make the black bars go away?
You just have to like shrink your. I open the image in a new window, like in a brand new window, and then I shrink the window until the black bars go away, so I can bring like see it. So what I'm doing is, what you see on the presentation is just like me shrinking the black bars. What's nice about the share screen? Sorry, this is like a technical thing, but I'll show you later, Father.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Also, I like the
The catchphrase. The frontier is fucking waiting.
No,
Sorry.
no, not the,
Sorry, that's not the catchphrase.
Not the fucking catchphrase. I don't like that.
Cerulean Blue, what do you think of this? Also, anyone in the audience, like
1966.
Ow.
what's that? Wait, what?
Not waiting. Everybody came in 1966.
No, bro, the frontier never ends in Star Trek. That's the point. Like,
So what's the theory on the building then?
What's that?
The building behind the tree. What's the theory on that?
Okay, so this is Mojave, and we see a little
Well,
bit
we
of
think it is.
Sorry. Okay.
No, there's
I
like
think yeah.
2 moons and shit. How's it the Mojave?
Okay, I think this is like this. You know how like I think this is like not meant to be a literal image. Like I don't think like someone's on a planet.
It's like
on
it's
a
showing you
horse, like,
space and Earth at the same time.
at the same time. Yeah, I think this is meant to be like evocative of like this man who is likely Christopher Pike, torn between being a cowboy and just like relaxing.
I don't know
in
if
his
it's
home.
torn. I just think that's where he exists. He lives between these two.
Oh, I like that. I like that better
things.
than what I thought. Yeah, I like that better. That's cool. Yeah, exactly. There you go. What father he said, Reuben. Like he exists between these two things. Yeah, these two states. It's like, it's like Captain Kirk in the Nexus chopping wood and wanting to marry Antonia versus flying around in a starship and making a difference.
Yeah, no, but I really like the blue nacelles that you see there.
Oh yeah, the
blue
blue
grills.
glow on the grill that
Yeah.
Roddenberry wanted to do in the original series, but they couldn't do
Yeah.
it on that model.
Yeah, the grill. And also, I saw some guys point this out on Twitter, but the dish right here, I'm pointing at it.
The deflector dish.
Yeah, that little no, not that. No, not that. The dish on the bottom of the saucer, you see it? It looks like a light.
Oh, the
Looks like
sensor
a-
dome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it looks like a it looks like a
Oh, like those lamps that everyone has.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
oh,
one of
yeah.
those in my kitchen.
that's like
It does look like that, but it also kind of always looked like that, didn't it? I guess it never had this little point or whatever before, right? It was just the white
The
dome. I mean,
you will.
yeah,
Cerulean. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, but when do you guys think we're finally gonna get our first proper trailer for this thing? Like, do you guys think we're gonna get
On the
some-
Star Trek cruise. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but do
They
you
don't,
guys
they're gonna show a trailer on. They don't release news on a cruise.
News at a cruise.
Very very soon, Marcelo. I think we'll see it within the
At the
next
end of the
5
month?
weeks. No, we'll see it
Oh,
before.
okay.
We'll see it in February or March.
Okay, very soon. Okay.
Yeah, because the show's coming out May 5th,
coming,
so
it's
they're
coming.
about to like this poster. This is step 1 of their
Step one.
marketing. They're about to ramp up. We'll see a trailer now, and then we'll see at least one more trailer.
Or a teaser
Closer.
and then a trailer.
Yeah. Well, we kind of had a teaser with that little behind the scenes thing they did at
Yeah.
Star Trek. So I think
Yeah.
our first trailer is going to be like a trailer. Like it's going to be like a story trailer.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a proper first look.
Yeah. I think that's going to be like in the. Well, what do you mean? Like something other than a trailer?
No, but I'm talking like a proper
an actual-
trailer.
Yeah.
Trailer.
Yeah, like we'll get that very soon.
Yeah.
Next few weeks.
Cerulean Blue says, "Okay, there was talk on one discussion about where Pike is in the shot. Some say it's post Talos 4 return in his mental utopia create for him after the accidental symbolic of the end of
Interesting.
and the beginning.
I guess that's what someone was trying to tell me during my show, because someone was like, "This doesn't look like Talos 4." But yeah, if he's like living out his mental fantasies, then yeah, it could be any. There could be 10. There could be 47 moons in the sky.
I just think Fathery nailed it with the idea of like this is a person who lives in these two states, and like that's what we're seeing, like a glimpse. This is like a visual representation of Pike, and it's kind of pretty true. I mean, like in the cage, we see that
He's the Starfleet cowboy.
Yeah, he's a Starfleet cowboy, and in the cage, we get all these are all references that we saw in the cage, assuming it's Mojave. That's a thing from the cage, and seeing the little buildings in the background, to me that feels like it could be a modern, but a six. I hope that's the aesthetic, because that, to me, those buildings look like the fucking TOS.
They look like strong TOS vibes.
TOS vibes on it. Like I just love that. Like that. I hope that aesthetic is there. As much as I love the 1701 Connie that we see in TOS, I can't deny that that's a gorgeous rendition of the Connie. Like, I mean, I'm not affronted or offended by the slanted pylons or the larger scale.
This is the best alteration of the Matt Jeffries design that I've ever seen.
And it doesn't seem like too far off of like what they might have done as a variation themselves. You know what I mean? Like, we did get the slanted pylons and stuff like that later on. You know what I mean? Like, this is like
John Eve said he designed this to be a previous version of the ship before it's refitted to look the way it looks in the original series.
I think that's awesome. That's phenomenal. I think that's great that like the Enterprise herself has gone through different iterations and stuff like that.
So the hull plating here was made to look like a little bit more like the NX-01 Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to be as excited about some of the interior sets, because I really loved the stuff they did in Discovery Season 2, and I am scared it's gonna be pretty different from that. So but we'll find out very soon when we get that trailer. They were showing clips from the show at the TCAs. This week.
They were.
Yeah, we learned that like they get I guess we get like a Uhura. Why can't I say it? We get Uhura's like story of how she comes to Starfleet, maybe, or something like that.
Not how she comes to Starfleet, but like one of her like first moments on the ship, like her like meeting Pike and some of the other people.
Peeps. Also, we got confirmation from Akiva Goldsman that that crew member that has the last name Khan is actually related to Khan.
Leanne Noonien Singh.
Yeah,
she's
related
to Khan.
So, but I wonder, do you think that she's gonna go bad at some point, or do you think that?
I think there's probably like a lot of stigma around like genetically altered people, which we've seen in Star Trek before. I was kind of surprised like people were like, I don't like that bothers people that she's related to Khan, and I thought that was kind of weird.
What did you see some folks bothered by that? That's interesting.
No.
Yeah, I heard that on the Trek movie podcast. They were like they're like, I don't know why you would choose to do that. I was like, oh, like I guess it seems weird that like Khan's descendant would serve on the Enterprise, and then like a few years later Khan shows up on the Enterprise. But like I don't think it's weird that like Khan has like a great granddaughter who's like still existing in the 23rd century.
No, but I don't think that she's I don't think that she's necessarily going to go bad, but I think that she's definitely going to be enhanced.
Either mentally or physically, she's going to be some stripe of superior.
Right. But
Christina Chong, the actor.
That's the actress.
She was in Doctor Who one time.
Yes.
Oh, cool. But I am severely so excited for the show. You guys have no idea.
Yeah. This and Picard season 2 are the two big ones for me.
Two big ones, yeah. Here's
the actor.
Yeah. Actress.
You could say actor. You can also
actor or actress, whatever you prefer, right?
Cerulean Blue says, what teasers have y'all seen? One picture of the Enterprise Jeffries tube with the Noonien Soon character sitting in it.
Oh yeah, it was her with Nurse
Christine
Chapel.
Nurse Chapel is
played
all
by
I've seen so far.
Jesse Bush, right? The Australian.
Yeah.
They're amazingly tight with this production, like I haven't really seen a lot,
No
like that they
leaks,
haven't
nothing.
nothing that they haven't
leaks,
wanted me to see, right? Like
nothing.
I feel like we even saw the Discovery
Yeah.
Klingons leaked before Discovery aired.
Yeah,
Like there
we
were like
did, yeah.
things. Picard has
Remember-
had leaks. Like
Yeah,
we
you
saw
remember
like him dressed in his like, whatever alternate, the road not taken outfit, and we
Yeah,
were all
you remember that?
speculating.
They're
but
shooting a lot of this like on stages, like they're using the AR wall. It's one of the COVID things. There's not a lot of location shooting.
But I
there
feel
will
like
be
we're gonna
some.
get satisfactory like locations,
Like we know that they went to New Mexico and shot some stuff. That's probably like we're gonna see like Pike riding around on a horse. That was probably the stuff they shot in New Mexico.
Oh, right
later. Then they might have shot that for one of the early episodes or one of the first episodes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Pike riding a horse in the desert like that in the first episode of the
That's
show.
awesome.
But yeah, that's stuff that they shot later towards the after more people were like vaccinated and it was easier to shoot on location.
Yeah. Also, what I'm really excited for is that I'm really, really excited to learn more backstory on number one. I'm really, really pumped for that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I sometimes like when the mysterious characters stay mysterious, but I'm glad that we're getting more of Rebecca Romaine as number one. So
man,
I'm game to try anything that they're doing with that character.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. And also, we're gonna have number one, and we're gonna have Nurse Chapel in the same show. Come on.
Yeah.
How
How cool is that?
Be awesome.
We need a scene where the two of them are talking to the computer.
Oh, that'll be wicked. That would be so much fun. Oh, by the way, here's an interesting question. Who do you think is going to be the computer? Like, do you think the computer is going to have like an actual voice?
There is someone who is doing the voice. I can't remember her name, but she did the voice for the Enterprise computer on Discovery and in the Short Trek. So I would assume they're just going to use her again.
Okay.
She's the woman who played John Connor's stepmom in Terminator 2. And she was Vasquez in Aliens, but I can't remember the name of the actress.
Oh, really? Okay.
She was in Star Trek Generations, actually. She was on the bridge of the Enterprise B.
Cerulean Blue says, yes, they were bothered. It makes sense. Our own Earth's history has plenty of descendants of Genghis Khan himself with traceable bloodlines of the conquering tyrants. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good. I see that. That's interesting. Like to compare that there. Also, Terry Metalis did leak another Starship pick from Star Trek Picard season 3 a few hours ago. Can I show this to you guys, gentlemen? Do you mind if I pull this up?
Yeah, I've not seen it. I've not been on Twitter much today at all.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna pull this image up. Let's see if I can do this. Sometimes Twitter doesn't like to play nice. Oh, it does play nice tonight. Okay, cool. Here we go. This is the newest image.
That's cool.
So this is like some kind of communication, secure transmission thing. More Elcart. Look, we can get really deep here. Here's the Starfleet command.
Who did the Elcars? Was it the Okudas in this one?
Mike Okuda is working on Picard season 2.
Yes,
Oh,
however,
yeah,
I think. Hold on, let me find. Ooh, I know this. I feel like Chekhov. Hold on. There is a designer that was working on Star Trek Picard season 1, and oh gosh, come on, I can find him. Hold on. Anyways, he's on Twitter and he posts
You're talking about Bless or Bless?
No. It's the actual designer, like the actual graphic artist that does this whole.
Oh, okay, yeah, that dude. He does like all the Star Trek shows, doesn't he?
No, I think maybe but mainly he's on Picard, and I just love his. I love his 20. What would this be like? 25th century, ish. We're not there yet, right? 24th century. No, we're still
25th century. The show.
Yeah, it's heading into the 25th century.
2400.
So yeah.
We
So
think.
the 25th century stuff.
This season it might be 2401.
Yeah. So I love this design, but I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry, artist. I know you.
Yeah, I just started following him a couple days ago. He
I know
tweeted like all those posters that they put of all the different shows and says,
Yes.
I've been busy.
Yes, he's brilliant. Anyways, but basically, yes, it is an evolution of the Okuda design, and I know that Okuda's.
But Mike Okuda is working on the show.
Yeah, is it working on the show?
Oh, very cool.
Which must be a treat for this artist.
The Elcars are probably all done by Mike Okuda.
I want this to be real. Like I feel like Apple should just forget.
I don't think it would
whatever-
actually be that good of a functional interface. It looks good on camera, which is why Mike
but it's-
designed it the way he did.
But it seems to be a little cluttered too.
Yeah, but it looks cool. It's just made to like look cool on screen.
Yeah, look cool.
90% of the people who are going to watch it are never going to give it a second thought. That's what I want like Star Trek fans to remember sometimes. Like the vast majority of the audience like never has conversations about Star Trek on the internet, never like does half the crazy shit that we do.
Yeah, they're not zooming in to look at what the settings are and like to see if there's any clues here. Are there any star dates or anything like that can give away like important information? I do want to share. So the showrunners of Star Trek, right? Since we're talking about Star Trek, we always talk about Star Trek, but since we're talking about Star Trek, I'm gonna look for something. So Mike McMahon and Aaron Walke are having like interesting exchanges on Twitter, but I want to find this thing that Mike McMahon tweeted, which is hilarious. Hold on, let me see. If I
Are
can
they
find
fighting
it.
over the size of their warp cores again?
You'll see, it's hilarious. Yeah, it's something like that. It's like a continuation.
That was last week.
Yeah, it was
that
last
thread
week.
that I got into.
Oh, first let me show you this. Oh, you guys are gonna you'll want to see this. Hold on. This is the Parliament class Eagle Moss model. Let me see if I can pull this.
Yeah,
up
show us
here.
the Vancouver.
The Vancouver. There she is. This is an aft view, aft top, aft what would be dorsal? No, aft ventral, right?
No, aft
Dorsal is top, ventral.
or yeah, I think it's aft and then the right side is starboard.
Starboard, but
starboard.
this is aft, and then what's the top of a ship called? There's ventral and then there's dorsal.
Ventral, I think.
Ventral. What were you saying, Reuben?
I said that's hot.
That's so weird. Why? So I'm not looking at you
That's
right
a good
now.
angle.
Come on, baby. You know you like it.
No. Oh my God, Reuben.
Sitting there
So
showing off ships.
wait.
Oh my god.
That's not quite Raffy, but I see where you're trying to go with this. Like, yes. Anyways, this is the top view. Look at this. Don't you think this is a beautiful ship? At least, Reuben. Come on. Do you care about the ships?
No,
He doesn't even care about the ships.
I don't care.
Even though I use the funny voice, I do think actually that ship is cool. What ship is that? What is that? What's going on?
The
there?
This
Vancouver.
is the Vancouver.
No,
Or
it's
I'm gonna call it the Vancouver. Actually, the Vancouver.
it's pimp. I love it. I actually do love it.
I have a story about older woman I
me of,
hooked
like,
up
an
with in
updated
Vancouver.
Reliant.
I called her the Vancouver.
Dang.
That's funny.
Right?
you
It's like
said
an
that.
update, like an evolved Reliant, right?
But yeah, it is. By the way, he's been sneaking in these jokes. So these are his season 4 notes for Star Trek, and I'm gonna show you another. This is the best part of these tweets. One binar. It's like this could actually happen.
Romulan gin.
Makes everyone
funny.
uncomfortable. Romulan gin? Question mark. And then wait, hold on. There's another note. Wait, hold on. Let's see. I got another. You got to see the note that he
That's
left
funny.
on. That is super funny,
Yeah,
right?
He's leaving these little Easter eggs in these pictures
Wait.
he's tweeting.
So here's the Cerritos. Okay, so he leaves a hilarious Easter egg on this one. So he goes over here and then he's like, okay, so here's the Eagle Moss sent him the Cerritos. This looks damn good. I kind
Oh,
of.
that looks. I want that thing right now. Is that thing out?
It's coming. I think you can
I need
order
it.
it. Like it's.
I
it's
need it.
yeah,
Oh my
go
God.
check out Trek Core. They
Okay. Okay. I need
they
that.
might
right
have
now.
a link to
Where
where you can
or
pre-order
order.
it, or you can go to like Eagle
Oh,
Moss. So okay,
Oh,
here's
that's amazing. I'm sorry.
okay. Season 4 notes. Do you guys see this? Like, can you see?
Yeah, I can't read it though.
I
Okay.
can't read it.
Boimler gets a new. I can't tell what it is, but Boimler gets a new something. 3 Vix. 3 Vix is
Instead of 2 Vix, it's 3 Vix.
3 Vix, and then more warp cores on the Protostar. 7 question mark 8 question mark.
Oh my
I was
god.
making fun of the Protostar for only or for having 2 warp cores.
And then we have over here he's got Mariner Battle of the Bands pisses off, and then it just says, and you can't tell what it is, but I like the idea of a Battle of the Bands for Mariner. That's like pretty funny. Then Aaron Waltke responded to it because I guess, I don't know if he responded because I did this or a lot of people tagged him, but people were like, Aaron Waltke, what do you think of this like protostar jab here with the course? So he responded with showing off some of his desk swag here. And he's like, we don't get like a ship yet, but we get this little medal, which is pretty cool, this medallion for being year one of Prodigy, right? Which is neat. But then if you
That's not as cool as a ship. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine, but
I
it's
like
still
Prodigy, but
I mean,
that's
whatever.
not as cool.
It's like that's what they get for like their first year on Prodigy. But wait, you got to check out his note. Like he also dropped an Easter egg notes thing, and so here's his notes. Season 2, Prodigy. Mark Twain returns. Times Arrow Part 3, which would be amazing. Forvix, call Mike to confirm. Captain Tendi finally reveals she's Chakotay from an alternate timeline. Dow reveals all of the TNG was a holodeck program he created.
Wow. It's fantastic.
Wow.
So yeah, if you guys aren't following these guys, they're just putting out the funniest shit. I think it's hilarious.
I want to go. Yeah, I'm gonna go over to Eagle Moss right now and check that out.
You guys gotta go check it out. What else? What other Star Trek stuff is new? There's some more news, right, Fathery? Did we cover everything? I feel like?
Well, yeah, the TCAs. There was a talk of Star Trek Section 31 and Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it sounds.
I'm sorry, Father. Go ahead.
Oh, it sounds like that. Alex Kurtzman's Secret Hideout. They are very gung ho for these shows, and they are getting ready to pitch them to Paramount Plus, and seem pretty confident that these shows will be picked up, and they will be the next Star Trek shows down the pike.
I don't understand how anyone can deny at this point that Star Trek's doing pretty well, like as a return. Like I feel like, why would you greenlight all these shows like if you're not doing well? And so I just want to say, like, all you guys out there complaining that Star Trek is dead and all that, and like that it's gonna get canceled next week or whatever, like that's not true.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Paging Robert Meyer Burnett, really? Oh god. I am really excited for
Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, because I've always wanted like a Star Trek show, like a teen based, young adult, not teen.
Yeah, it's like college based.
Yeah, like a young adult Starfleet series. I think that's
young adult YA.
Yeah, YA. Because that to me is right. That's like taking two things that I love and putting it onto a stew, and I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and this is not going to be the same show that was pitched in 2018 that the OC people were involved with. This is entirely different showrunner. This is a brand new pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So now here's where I'm torn on the Academy show. Is my preference would be for it to take place around like the Picard era, like that early 25th century, and that way we can build on top of TNG and DS9 and Voyager and bring those actors in and stuff. Right. But I really like Tilly, and I am also real keen to do a Academy show starring Tilly as the the young instructor or professor or whatever they do with her. So I don't know, what would y'all's preference be for time period that you set this in?
I would. I'm sorry. I would love to see Tilly be an instructor. So if Tilly's in the show, they have to base it in the future. They have to base it in the Discovery timeline. But with that being said, I would be open to them going back to the TNG era to do the show. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I have no context for this image. Thank you, text message audience. Someone sent this to me.
It's from a video game.
Oh, is that what this is?
There's a video
Okay.
game in the computer game called Starfleet Academy. It actually has Shatner playing Kirk in it.
Oh, I think I know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch all the
cutscenes.
movies.
Is that
on,
what this is? Like a
yeah,
little
it was like live action cutscenes.
Oh, okay. I just like this look. Like, I feel like that's like my era of Star Trek that I like. You know, like the
You do
uniforms
like
and
that.
everything.
You like that uniform in particular. I know.
Yeah,
I do
Yeah, I
not.
do. I like that uniform a lot. And so yeah, to me this is really appealing. But I will say, after that little bit, like that little offshoot episode we had of Discovery with Tilly, I'd be super down for like a 32nd century.
Yeah, that was
Starfleet
the
Academy
backdoor
show, yeah.
pilot for the Academy show.
I feel like
think.
yeah, that's like I 100% would love.
And they backdoor piloted the Section 31 show too.
Yeah, they totally
That's
did.
right.
So, yeah.
And just they like to test stuff out first. Just like that episode Brother, it was actually written by Akiva Goldsman.
Yep.
Or not Brother, the New Eden.
New Eden, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second episode of the second season of Discovery. That was very much a test
Backdoor
run for
pilot.
Strange New Worlds.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I
they
agree.
They like, and a lot of the short treks they tested stuff out that they would do later. Like, you remember the tardigrade versus the robot one that they did. You know how
Yeah,
they were like pulling
Definitely not.
audio from the original series, and they were like animating, Kirk and Chekhov, Kirk and Sulu, and they were using like the old dialogue. They did that in Prodigy when they did the holodeck episode where they brought everyone back, Kobayashi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're constantly like test running stuff before they do it for real. Oh, all those Enterprise crew short treks. That was Strange New World type stuff they were testing out.
Cerulean Blue would like to see a Chief O'Brien back on Earth post Dominion War time period, Starfleet Academy. I mean, the audience is there for either. I think the 32nd century one would please, like, I think based on what I've seen, just like, and personally, like, I think like that would be the most, like, the easiest choice, because you already have these like actors that are invested in their characters. Like, you have all this stuff. You wouldn't have to like launch per se a new show. It'd be more like a spin-off, to do it in the 32nd century. But I could see, like, there is a lot of the Voyager era, I want to say, like,
The other
in
thing-
particular, there's a lot of popularity for that, and like DS9, and I feel like those shows, so it'd be interesting. But I do think that overall Star Trek's at its best when it moves forward in the timeline, to me personally. So while it's nice, like, oddly, this is me saying this, like, maybe it'd be too much nostalgia to go back to these earlier eras. Maybe it is better to place the Starfleet. Wow, like, Reuben, I got his attention. He stopped playing a video game. So, like, maybe it would be good to place it in the 32nd. Wow, look. We don't do audios on these, but yeah, if you were watching that,
I would like a show set in both. Next year might be the end of Picard and even Discovery both. With season 3 of Picard and season 5 of Discovery. So
that's where I see Section 31 filling the gap. Like,
so
I feel
where
like that's
where
a
will
show.
Section 31 take place then?
I feel like you could either set Section 31 in that, like, so someone Connor Trenier just threw out this wild idea, which I thought was pretty cool, is to include him. But I don't know if that's going to get developed, but I would love that. Like, anything with Connor Trenier bringing Trip back to life, I'm all for it.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
But I don't think they're going to do that. But honestly, like, I kind of had this thought that maybe they would send Giorgio to a whole new era, and maybe we could cover that Starfleet Academy.
But Shazad
not that-
Latif
sorry,
is
that's-
involved. So
No.
We don't know if he's still involved. We don't know if he's still. It's
he
the
sounded
problem
like
with
he
the
is
section.
in
Really?
May. Yeah.
Oh, just this May, just this last May.
Yeah.
That was when that. Wow, time flies so fast. Like, I feel like years have.
No,
passed
they
since I
could
heard
they
that
could
news,
like
yeah.
grab him and take him to a different time
They
period. I
could, yeah,
guess.
exactly. But that period between Star Trek 6 and TNG, I think is like
The Lost Era.
the lost era. I think that's a great time to put a Section 31 show into play.
I really want to have a show that's set like post Picard, and then a show set post Discovery when those shows wrap. I want to be able to keep an eye on those two time periods.
I feel like Picard could create its own spin-offs that would be post-Picard. Like I feel like Rios is a character that has potential. Soji, like all those characters have potential to go on even
What
after
about
Jean-Luc's not involved anymore, so to speak. But
what about a new Star Trek show based on Seven? Come
Seven
on.
of Nine, yeah, I'd be down for a Fenris
Yeah,
7 type
yeah.
of thing too.
Like you could do a show based around her time as a ranger.
It'd actually be neat if like somehow Jean-Luc passes the baton to Seven of all people, and that she like comes. No, I mean like it would be kind of neat. Like it'd be an interesting like play like and Seven is the lead on the show on like a future show. And
Well,
maybe she comes back
I
to
don't think
Starfleet
there's
or
going to
whatever.
be any other shows anytime soon after
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
next
But we know we're gonna get 2 new shows because they're still talking about them. It's Section 31 and the Starfleet Academy, so that's kind of cool.
Right.
So yeah, we got Jude here, and Jude says, "I want Section 31 to be DS9's spiritual successor."
The more that we talk about that, I kind of want the Section 31 show to be like post Picard, and then the Academy show be 32nd Century.
Interesting.
I think that might be ideal for me. If they
What do you
could
think of
that.
this though? Of Section 31 being a spiritual successor to DS9, which is Bowie and Kim's favorite Star Trek.
Bowie and Erica.
Bowie and Erica, sorry, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Bowie, Kim, and Erica Lapolt.
They're saying Cerulean Blue saying they're both of them are super zero hints, tight-lipped on on this. Yeah,
They both have.
They're also. Oh, you want to take a father? Because I told you this, didn't I?
Marcelo says the two of them aren't involved with Star Trek anymore, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember where I read it, but they're on another TV show. They're working with Amazon.
That doesn't mean that they're not going to work on Star Trek, though, does it, Marcelo?
Yeah, but the thing is, they're working they're working on a new a show for Amazon now. So it's like, okay, if they're show running this thing for Amazon, like for them to come over to Section 31.
I mean, if Section 31's on the back burner for another year, I don't see why they can't be involved, and I don't see why they can't elevate to producer status or showrunner.
It's pretty common for writers to work on multiple shows these days.
Chad Rubel,
seasons
for example,
are so short. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to accumulate the episodes you need for move up through union. Right. So that's actually pretty common. Also, Mike McMahon, for example, he's showrunner on Solar Opposites and Lower Decks
at the same time. So I don't know if I would take stock into that. I feel like they're pretty.
I could be wrong. They could come back when the show is announced. But when the show is announced, if the show is announced with different showrunners, then we'll find out I was right.
Yeah. So yeah, just to be clear, you read that somewhere, but you don't remember where, and it's mostly like just your speculation, right?
Yeah. It's my feeling, because if you notice, they're not writing for Discovery anymore.
I noticed that.
They haven't.
They didn't write for Disco for seasons 3 or 4, but they were developing the Section 31 show during that.
Right.
And there was some pre-production that took place before pandemic, but then Michelle Yeoh wanted to go do a movie that Bowie Kim was still like promoting not that long ago. So I think that she's under the assumption that Michelle Yeoh is still going to be the star of the show. Now I don't know if they're going to oversee the day-to-day production. A lot of times people are just like the developer of a show, and then they do move on. But yeah, I think it's building on top of the work that they've done.
Yeah. No, and also Michelle Yeoh has the new Witcher spin-off series that she's about to do also.
Oh, is there a Witcher spin-off series coming up too? So yeah, it's crazy. So who knows what'll happen with Section 31 and Michelle Yeoh, but I feel like we have a lot can happen in a year, and so if this is in fact actually 2 years, a lot can happen in 2 years. So if Picard has 2 more seasons to go, so does Discovery. supposedly if it only goes to 5
I
seasons.
think it's possible
so
they
like-
could start production on Section 31 at the end of this year.
Yeah, so who
You know
knows?
what?
We'll see
Yeah,
what
you
happens.
know what I should do? I should just ask her on Twitter.
Yeah, if you're
Well,
bold
why
enough to,
not?
I don't like to
Why
bother
not?
people, but yeah, if you want to ask her on Twitter,
I'll
yeah.
do it. Okay.
I've seen them respond to fans before.
Yeah.
Erica
I mean-
and Bowie.
No, I mean Erica. I've reached out to Erica a couple times, and she's responded to me both times that I've reached out to her. So I see no reason why she wouldn't give me a yes or a no for this.
Bring us the scoop. Also, by the way, we have reached an achievement on Starfleet Boy After Dark. So Fathery reached an achievement tonight too. This is gonna be funny a little bit. Father reached 70% of his goal to 1,000, which is 700 subscribers. So yay! Congratulations, Sex Trek.
Thank
We
you.
just got 70 subscribers on Starfleet Boy After Dark tonight. So we're at 70% of our goal to 100 subscribers. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited about that. So thank you very much, audience. I appreciate you so much.
You
Get us
rock.
to 100. We got to get to 100. That's our next goal.
Yeah, I have on my YouTube channel. I have 136. My personal YouTube channel.
Ooh, you rich.
I'm
you
rich
rich.
now.
YouTube 700 subscribers. Ruben has 1 million subscribers on Twitter.
I've been asking my podcast
Off
listeners
100 billion.
to subscribe to the people who listen to me and don't watch on YouTube. I keep asking them, like, please just go over there
Go
and
and
hit the
subscribe.
subscribe button. Even if you're never going to watch on YouTube, like if you just want to listen to the podcast, that's fine. But it
By the
costs
way,
$0 to go click
Yeah.
subscribe.
It does cost $0. Also, it just helps us a lot because honestly, like we're trying to make the show for like whoever's here. Like I'm not worried about having like lots of subscribers, but YouTube incentivizes it and they unlock features that make it easier to create communities and like share things. And so if we get more subscribers, we'll unlock those features. So it's pretty cool, like super chats and all that kind of stuff. So as we go along. So hopefully you guys will consider subscribing and sharing our channels. Do we have anything else Star Trek related to talk about? Audience, do you have anything Star Trek related that we want to talk about that you want to, we're a panel of experts here. And so if you have any questions about Star Trek, we could probably answer it. But otherwise, I think we're going to wrap up another fantastic episode of Starfleet Boy After Dark. If you guys don't have anything else you guys want to talk about.
No, I'm pretty much good.
Right
I'm
on.
good. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I guess just one question. Which show do you want more, Section 31 or Starfleet Academy?
Oh, Starfleet Academy. Yep.
Starfleet Academy for me.
Yeah. As much as I love Michelle Yeoh, I need Starfleet Academy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Starfleet Academy. I've never been a huge fan of Section 31. I feel like I feel like I finally I finally warmed up to an idea of Section 31 for Giorgio. Like I just like Michelle Yeoh. I think she's a great actor, so I was like kind of interested to see where it goes. But yeah, Academy's the show that I really want to see. That's like more interesting to me for sure. What about you, Reuben? Just as an opinion, you're on mute by the way, in case you forgot. And I like that Reuben's gaming still.
What's the question here?
Between if you had to choose a show, if you could only have one, I know you don't want either, but if you could have a show, which would it be, Starfleet Academy or Section 31? I love how I can just say that with confidence, and Reuben laughs because he knows it's true. But if you had to have a Section 31 or a Academy, which would you be more interested in?
Section 31. I mean, presumably the Section 31 show could be any time period, anything, right? There's no.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
hop around even. Like you could have time travel in it. Yeah.
I'll take the Section 31.
Wow. Okay. All right. There you go. There we have it. Cerulean Blue also says Academy on his. So there you go.
Yeah, but I should also say that I'm excited for both. The prospect of a Section 31 show makes me a little nervous. I actually really like the concept. I really like them on Deep Space Nine, but I like the stuff that Bowie and Erica have been saying, and I like Michelle Yeoh's Georgia won me over. And I
Yeah.
like the last, we saw that character where she was out. So
You already won me
As
over.
far as we know, there's no Section 31 in Discovery when it goes into the future, right?
Yeah, as far as we know, there's not a 32nd
Yeah.
century Section 31, but there is suspicion that there might be some kind of covert thing going on.
I'd be okay if Section 31 didn't exist anymore by that time period.
Yeah.
That's just me. Anyways,
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Is it plug time?
It's plug time. You go first, Marcelo.
All right, guys. So as usual, if you want to see my 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 ex my adventures online, the best place to do that, or the hub for all my stuff, is on twitter.com at creekfanatic88. So if you guys just go there, you'll get links to everything I do. Yeah, that was a really short plug.
Right on. Nice plug. Well, you can give a long plug. It's fine. Reuben, what's going on in your universe? You just muted yourself. It's hilarious. Reuben's like a rookie podcaster again, with your new mic in your chateau, playing video games over there, Reuben.
Yeah.
What's new for me? I posted interviews with Gabriel Frowning. Oh, I got a couple interviews coming up once they're approved, and check them out. Just find me on Twitter at rmartian, and that's about it. I'll see you tomorrow on TOS.
TOS, yeah, baby. What's going on in your universe, Fathery?
Well, you can always find the Text Trek podcast live on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central every Friday night. We are covering all the new episodes of Star Trek. We take a deep look at each one, deep in the heart of Texas. And you can also listen to that show as a podcast wherever you get your podcast from. And hopefully later in the year we'll get a chance to talk about some Deep Space Nine. We're trying to get some guests, some people that actually like work in Star Trek or might show up again on our show. So we have a lot of big stuff planned this year, but we just finished the second batch of Prodigy episodes. We're going to go back to the 32nd century next week and start talking about Discovery, and then we're going to be very eager to cover Strange New Worlds, Picard, Lower Decks, everything else. So lots of fun over there.
Yeah, so check that out. You can go to text-trek.com and find all the things there. And you can subscribe to Text Trek. Are you ever going to create a second channel, Fathery? No, it's too much. It's too much.
No.
Text Trek After Dark? No.
Nah.
Text Trek Pink? No, I don't know if that's a good.
It's
that's not.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Electric. Do you guys remember Electric Blue?
Yellow Rose of Texas. He's got to be like Text Trek Yellow.
Father, are you old enough for Electric Blue? Do you remember Electric Blue, Reuben?
Electric Blue. That sounds familiar.
Like
It
the
was
color?
It's Skinamax Electric Blue. Remember? It was like a Skinamax show.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. Starfleet Boy. Thank you, audience. We had Cerulean Blue, Blue Sparrow, Jude. We had Arthur. Like, we had a bunch of folks in the audience. Thank you for being here tonight. That was really nice, y'all.
And
for hanging
Cerulean
out with
Blue
us.
is new to the crew, right? New to
Yeah,
the, new to the
chatting
fam.
with us.
So
I just followed.
welcome aboard. We're
followed you on
very
Twitter,
happy to have
too.
you here.
Yeah, we are happy to have you. You're pretty cool. We had Patrick Patterson on, who also you can see on our Thursday night broadcast sometimes.
And he's going to be in Chicago, I think.
He's gonna be in Chicago, yeah. So Cake is Eternal was here before they fell asleep. So like,
That's
no
the
one's
other thing. If
Spain,
anyone,
like,
if
yeah.
anyone here is going to be on the Star Trek cruise, or if anyone here is going to be at Star Trek Mission in Chicago, let us know.
Yeah, let us know so we can
You
meet
might-
up and
you might
hang
get to
out.
meet us in real life.
I feel like that's gonna be such an epic thing. We're gonna try to do some fun stuff and share our experiences over there across all our channels.
I got to
and
find
stuff
time to
like
write that pitch.
totally, you do. Let me know if you need that. Maybe we have time on the weekend tomorrow or something like that. But Anyways, Fathery has some cool things planned and also Jessie Gender, who's a friend of the channel. Go check her out, and she's also planning something cool. She's gonna go to Mission Chicago. I'm really excited about that. So it's gonna be a lot of cool people there. It's coming up. They said they're gonna make some more announcements pretty soon, so check that out. You can check out Thursday night's live kind of reaction / discussion, casual and formal, of the latest and greatest Star Trek on our main channel, Starfleet Boy Actual.
Discovery reviews are going to start back up this coming
next week. Yeah, this week on Thursday coming up. Yeah, exactly. So that's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then Saturdays we do a discussion of Star Trek in general. We're focused on TOS at the moment, the original series. And then after that, we're going to do the animated series. The TOS discussion tomorrow is... I'm looking up because I know the title and I can't remember. For I Have Touched the Sky. What is it? Father, are you frozen? I think Father's frozen.
For the world is hollow and I've touched the sky.
For the world is hollow and I've touched the sky. Which, by the way, there's connections to Star Trek Discovery in that episode. Cool episode.
Every week.
What?
Every week you forget the title of the episode.
Yeah, no, I'm bad with the title. Even though I love it, actually, I don't forget. I'm just tired. It's 3 in the freaking morning. It's 2 in the morning. It's 1:47 in the morning. It's not even 2 in the morning yet here. But anyways, it's a 3-hour stream. We did a 3-hour stream. We did a long stream.
3-hour stream.
Sunday.
I know. Okay. So anyways, TOS discussion. Then we do Then I'm on a Doctor Who discussion with Robbie and Brian from Text Trek. And Robbie from his own channel, Earl Grey Trekkie. So check that out right after. And then Sundays, Father and I are doing a watch-along / fan commentary of Star Trek Picard Season 1. We're trying to do it so that we're right on time for the premiere of Star Trek Picard Season 2 when we finish.
We're going to be on Episode 6, The Impossible Box,
The Impossible Box, yeah. We're just doing the one episode, but then the following week we're going to do a doubleheader. For
2 doubleheaders.
Yeah, 2 doubleheaders. So, and then after that, the finale we'll do as a doubleheader as well. So check those out. So we're having a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that discussion. So
we're halfway done.
Yeah, we're halfway.
I'm gonna be sad when it's over. I'm like Picard. It's like I don't want the game to end.
It won't end because you'll get to watch all new episodes.
That's true. We'll have a new season to look forward to.
And Reuben is invited to our Star Trek Picard discussions, but we always do 2 discussions. Starfleet Boy does 2 Star Trek Picard discussions. Reuben's only invited to the second one, not the first one on Thursdays. So keep an eye on that, and we'll get Reuben's thoughts on the other discussion, not on the main one. Anyway, sorry I had to do that. Anyways, thank you guys, everyone. You guys are so lovely. Live long and prosper.
The party never stops.
The party doesn't
start.